Greetings, family. Greetings. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? What you doing? How y'all doing? What you doing? What y'all got going on? What y'all got going on? What y'all got going on? Is y'all here for the mukbang? Hi, Cassandra Miles. How are you? How are ya? What y'all doing? Well, you was watching for the notification. Turn it up. Can y'all hear me all right? I'm probably be going like back and forth and back and forth. Oh man, I told y'all I was gonna come back and finish at least with this one. Child, let me put my stuff up in case somebody want to give me some. Just in case you want to donate tonight. Child, how was y'all day? The motherfucking concentration camps. What concentration camps? Y'all be just jumping in with different conversations. What y'all talking about? They said, like, but when you come in, family gratitude. Gratitude, girl. I'm going to hold on so you can send your text. Man, I wanted to get my nails done because I kept hitting them and they was loose and shaky. And I was like, I got to get them done because they hurt. Some of them was hurting. And I went and they couldn't do this one because they said it's all, like, that's all flesh. Like, this is just, like, flesh right here. It's a little bit of nail here. And then all of this, it's like a big-ass cutout of nail. And that's flesh. They couldn't do it. So, I might take another bite of that. That was pretty good. Yeah. And sometimes it just takes for something to sit, even though it was good the first time. Yes. Oh, girl, I was about to put you in timeout. I didn't know who you was, kid. Yeah, they said I gotta let it heal. So we gonna let him heal. So we had stir time last night till the morning. And I was like, well, I'll finish the story. Toddy was watching the Janet Jackson documentary. Toddy was. She was watching it. But I have not seen it. I ain't seen it yet. I went and got some snacky poos for the bedtime story. I told y'all this is why I'm like then picked up a little weight. CSI, You was just watching that, get some triple antibiotic cream ointment. Yeah. I did. I didn't know if you wanted to be in my court, but I did. Say we missed it. Was throw off after what happened to it. Um, I got a little bit of sleep. I wanted to rest, but I had something else I had to do. So, and I had to go get regular milk. And y'all know I don't even drink nor use regular milk, child. But that's all they had at the convenience store. And I wanted some milk and cookies for my snacky poo. Okay. You enjoyed the documentary? Toddy said it was good too. Last time I spoke with her, she was saying that it was a good documentary and that she felt like she was there. And she felt like it was like so many things that she didn't know or had never seen. And she was like, I don't know if anybody else had ever seen it, but I had not ever seen it. What are cookies and shit? Now, I'm going to finish the story, okay? Yes, my hot fries earlier. But if there's anything else y'all wanted to me to do the story time on as well, you know, we definitely can talk about some stuff. It is not. It is not cheesy. It is disgusting. It was disgusting. It is water. Jamela had got some goddamn oat milk because I usually get almond. And Jamela had got some goddamn oat milk. It was disgusting. And I was like, Jamela, what the fuck is this? And she was laughing, but it was gross. Chobani, Silk. Hmm. Original extra creamy. Oh, okay. Okay. Talk about my first reading. I'm sure you were nervous as fuck. I don't even remember my first reading because I've been doing readings for a long time. Um, hmm, was that my first reading? It was real, like, if you call it a reading, it was very, very brief. It was the first time that I had ever gave somebody a message. Um, and I was on the bus, and I didn't even know, that that's what it was that I was doing. But I was on the bus, and then it was a genome on the bus too. And the spirit kept saying, "Tell her that the babies will be okay." Something about her daughter type shit. And she had told me like she got custody of her grandbabies and was raising them. And something about her daughter or something like being gone off, and she's just trying to make sure they was okay. And I think they were biracial too, if I'm not mistaken. But that was the first time I can remember. And that was just crazy you asked me that because I was thinking about that today. Like, I really have been doing this for a very long time, like, even not knowing what I was doing when I would just give somebody a message or say something and not even realize what that was. You see, she said it was not true and that it was her nerve. What? Regina King came to the house because Tony was her cousin, and he was like, he kept telling us like that was his cousin. Now, I went to South Junior High and I went to Mount Healthy, and Miss King was a substitute teacher, And little plain lady, cute, little glasses, little short, salt and pepper afro. And she was a substitute teacher, and she introduced herself, and she said, "I'm Regina King's mom. I don't know if y'all know who she is. She's an actress." And I'm like, "What? 227?" Yes, we know who Regina King is, but her mom was my substitute teacher, and Tony was her cousin, and he was staying with us, and he was like, "I'm gonna bring my cousin to the house." You know when somebody said that, you're like, "Yeah, okay," but he said, "I'm gonna bring my cousin to the house," and that is the secret child. Mm, mm. Don't tell. I can't watch. I can't read y'all comments because that's gonna be a spoiler alert for me. I want to watch it. Excuse me. But she came to the house. He ended up bringing her. She came in. It was chilly outside. Like I said, it was cold outside, so she had on winter gear. She had her hair down, and she's lighter than what she looks. Very pretty and very petite, very small. And she had on like a skull cap kind of thing, real cute. She came in, and like I said, the house was a mess because I was no longer cleaning up because fuck her. And my two sisters was there. Two of my sisters was there, and she came in, and Tony was introducing, he's like, "This is my cousin," and my sister Candy was like, "You know who you look like?" She said, "That's you, ain't it?" And she said, he said, "Yeah, that's my cousin Regina King." She said, "I knew that was you." So I'm just kind of disgusted I'm drinking this milk, but okay. I'm really disgusted that I'm drinking it, but I want it with the cookies. And it's the small thing, so I can't even put my cookie in there and dip it. So my my cousin Emil, his kids was there, which is Amy's kids, her two little boys. But only one of them was kind of big enough that he would even understand. And so she was like, "Do you know who I am?" And he was like looking, and he looking like, mm. And she said, "You ever seen the movie Mighty Joe Young?" And she said, "I was in that movie." Girl, I was just like, "Oh, that's so cute." She was very pleasant and polite. They didn't stay very long, and he introduced her and shit, and that was it. And then they left. And I was just like, the house is a mess. I wasn't getting cleaned up. I didn't give a fuck. I wasn't. Westchester High School, class of 88. Mount Healthy High School, class of 98. Hey, Mom. Hey, cousin. But, okay. So, where we left off was right after the second massacre of the abuse in the abuse land. Maybe I just drink the water. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. That was life. Oh, that's you. You graduated with Regina King. She graduated from Westchester? I did not know that. Hey, Trey and Michelle. Mitchell. I always do that. So, they say, my summer TV just got out. Nipplegate and the MJ trial. Y'all sat next to each other for graduation. Aww. What's up, Jennifer Ashley? Hey, Bella. Kente, what's going on? Say, wow. I know she grew up. I don't know how long they lived in Cincinnati because I know she grew up on Hudepohl or whatnot, or that's where her mom lived at for a while. I know, but I don't know. Like I don't know because I know once she got on 227. They had migrated or some shit, but that is really dope. That is dope. What up, Darby? Hey, what up, Kadeja? How is the baby? You're from Westwood. All right. So let me see. We ended with the massacre and us getting the check for the taxes. We was getting ready to go to Cincinnati. Yep. So, all right, that's what we picking up at. Now, you know what I was thinking about too? I was like, I never even told them that. That was another reason why everything kind of fell apart, far as the apartment goes. When we put the chicken in the refrigerator and left it to a sink and all that shit, is because the like I don't know if they was really feds or if he was paranoid, but I did start seeing like random people going into this apartment that was like a catty corner from us, almost like they was watching us. So that was another reason he have like convinced me that the feds was in there watching us. And again, you know, he's a paranoid schizophrenic, so who knows how fucking true that was, you know. So that was another reason why we had left that apartment. Well, I left him. Um, okay, so before we even had left, there was another incident that happened, but it was on my behalf this time. Now, I feel like he was lightweight owed that. What happened, you know? I feel like he was lightweight owed this right here. So we are in a car. Can't carry the knife on him as well. So we are in a car. We riding and driving and we arguing per usual. Cause I know y'all probably thinking like this bitch always arguing. Cause motherfuckers be crazy and they think they could just talk to you and treat you any kind of way. And then when you are a strong alpha person, you know, they don't like when you stand up for yourself. You know what I'm saying? They don't like that. So he thought because he was kicking my ass though that he could say whatever he wanted to say to me, you know. So one day we driving and the knife is right here in the middle between the seats, you know. And so we arguing and everything in me told me I thought he was gonna grab the knife, you know. So before he could grab the knife, I went to grab the knife. He grabbed the knife at the same time, but I snatched it. When I snatched it, it cut his hand. He was bleeding like a motherfucker, cut his hand like a crosshair. So he was bleeding like a motherfucker. He just has to be rushed. He has to rush himself to the hospital because, oh my God, he has a cut. Never mind how he done beat my ass before, you know. Never mind that shit. But he got a small cut. Well, it wasn't small. Let me not. He got a motherfucking cut on his hand. Now he must go to the hospital. So we take him to the hospital. The nurses start, because he didn't told them. He say he didn't, but he didn't told them because they was being real like, the nurses was talking like crazy to me as if they were going to take me to jail. Listen, I was like, girl, wrap this nigga hand up so we can go because I really did not give a fuck. I honestly didn't. I did not give a fuck that his hand was cut, that his hand was fucked up. And he couldn't, oh God, he couldn't use it. He couldn't do shit with it. I mean, I had to wash him up in the shower, help him put his clothes on because he was handicapped at this point. He was so fucking handicapped at this point he could not do shit. I was looking at this nigga like, you are so big, bad, and tough. But this nigga, like, but Toddy would say something, he would just like cry. Like one time he had asked, like when we first got together, remember I said I had wrapped the shit around because it was like Christmas time and I was, you know, decorating the house. And I said Shelly had opened up her door. She opened up her door and you were able to see in her house, and her house was looking identical to mine. So now, just in case somebody want to look these people up, you can pull Kent up. Like I recently, like 2 years ago, when I told this story for the first time, and I didn't tell everything that I probably gonna tell, that I'm telling y'all. But when I first told this story, I had looked him up and posted him on my Facebook so people can see who it was that I was talking about when I posted Kent. And so, and Ronell, his nephew, he just recently died last year too. Yeah, he just recently died. Ronell did. But when I looked him up, Ken had just got out of jail. I almost want to say it's for like domestic violence or some shit like that. But the sad thing is, because his son is a junior, his name popped up. He grown now. He popped up. He's in his motherfucking his mother. This is let me see. His motherfucking what you call it? Mugshot. Mugshot was right there next to his daddy's for fucking murder. So if I'm not mistaken, Lil Kent is still in jail right now for fucking murder. And I was like, that is really fucked up. I can pull it up and let me see. I'll pull it up. I'll put them both up here. And I was like, that is really fucking sad because you done did all of this shit in front of these kids, in front of him, and this is the impression that you left him with to the point where he abused bitches and he's in there for murder. Hold on. Don't hang up because I'm going to see if I can't find it. Here they go with this fuck shit. That's why I'm blocking y'all pussy asses. Okay. So hold on. Don't hang up. Hold on. Don't hang up. Don't hang up. Hold on. hell? Hold on, cause I can't find it. Wait. Give me a second. Hold on. Okay. Now I gotta upload them. Hold on, I gotta upload them. All right. They got it. They up. Ready? This is Kenneth's son. Kent's son. His name is Kenneth Kane Muzan Jr. This is his son. That's his son. That was the little boy. He was like 10 the day I said he beat me up, and I was looking at him like, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "No, bitch, is you okay?" That's how he was looking at me. That's the baby. He was the boy. And this is Kent. This is the psycho I was with. Kenneth Muzan. That's him. Fucking insane. Insane. This nigga was crazy as a bunch of motherfuckers. Yeah. Okay. You see, both in jail. Both in jail. That motherfucker was crazy as hell. Can't even make it up. So just to put the face, yeah, just to put the face to who I'm talking about when I'm talking. I'm talking about him. This is who I'm currently talking about. This is Kenneth Kane Muzan. This is Kenneth Kane Muzan Jr. I don't know where his daughter is, Sade. You know, I haven't seen her. I never found nothing like it, but he was just really like he was crazy on a whole bunch of different levels, right? He had like different levels to it and like to it. Say for example, like we had went to Miami. When I said we went to Miami, we got the Oblivion, right? We had went there and they have all of these like we go to this flea market, which is where we got the Oblivion from. But if you go to the flea market, there's all kind of stores in there. You can get your hair cut, buy a diamond ring, get some shoes, a knockoff purse, bitches, everything in that bitch, you know. Fuck around and be able to get a dog. You know, but it's also other stores that are around there. We have went shopping, right? And it ain't hard to go shopping in Miami. It depends on what kind of store you're looking for. Because a lot of this shit is 99 cent store. You can go in there with the Mexicans, baby, and get whatever you want. So we in there getting shit. He was this kind of crazy. He would watch them scan everything. and say, I don't trust you, and make them scan it again. Now we got to wait till they clear it out and scan it again. I said, I used to get tired of it. I would get really fucking tired of it, angry with it, frustrated. Like, bitch, what the fuck is you doing? Why must we scan and rescan this shit again? And then he be really talking and he think he's saying some deep shit. Now that used to get on my fucking nerves. Where he thought he was saying some really deep shit. This motherfucker be like, yeah, because I done been through many tribulations. Tribulations. Bitch, no. No, no, no. You trying to make that shit look good, bitch. No. No. But this motherfucker, he was cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. Yes, the fuck he was. So now we decided we gonna go and go to Cincinnati, but we was gonna move to Tampa. But for some reason we was going to Cincinnati. And I think I really want to say we was going to drop Toddy off. Because when we dropped Toddy off, we was just going to go and set up everything and get, established in Tampa that we was supposed to go back and get Toddy. You say what? We've dated some monsters. Yes, the fuck we have, child. Yes, we have. So, we drive, we go, we get to Cincinnati. I even have on the engagement ring because he ended up getting me an engagement ring. And, when I get there, like my family, they wasn't happy to see me. They was just like, oh, hey, bitch, I've been gone. All y'all got for me is, oh, hey, okay. They was sitting at the poker table playing poker. They like, well, let me see the ring. It's one of these. Oh, that's cute. Okay. So, we got the money. Now, we go to bingo. With my grandmother didn't go. We went with my grandmother's sister, my Aunt Eileen. We go with her, and I believe Amy went. So we go to bingo or whatnot. I win $1,000. Mind you, I already had the 6,000 plus, like the 6,500 from the income taxes, right? So I have that, and then I win $1,000, just like boom. Now I got money. Now I got $7,000. A little bit. I got under that because we didn't spend some, But I got some money. Now he's salty, remember, because I told you he likes to control the money, and he want me to serve him. That's how serve him, And I'm like, I'm not about to give you my money. So Spirit has started speaking to me after this point. Kent had never been in snow before. He had never been in snow. He had never seen snow in real life. He has never left Miami or Fort Myers, so he had never seen snow. We get to Cincinnati, it's March, so it's still kind of snowing. He wants to play in the snow. He doesn't have a coat. He don't have no gloves. He has t-shirt jeans, and he got a little jacket. It might even be like Pelly or some shit. He has like a little jacket. He is out there playing in the snow. He's so happy to see the snow. Kent got sick as fuck. He was sick as fuck. You said the bead ring. So I done had to nurse him back to health. You know what I'm saying? What you saying? I want to these. Man, yeah, that part. So we get him back to health so that we didn't have to stay a little longer than what we had planned because he was sick. But my Aunt Shawn had let us come stay over her house because she had a 2-bedroom and my cousin Asia wasn't staying there. She was staying with my grandma. So she had the free bedroom. Now, I don't know that I have a gift. I don't know that I have a connection to spirits. I don't know. All I know is, mind you, remember, I done left him once already. I moved to, they sent me to West Palm Beach, and I done kept calling him like, I just want you to be different. And he's like, come back. file your W-2s, get your taxes. We make it do what it do. So now, right? So now we are in Cincinnati. He is sick. We at my Aunt Sean's house. I done helped him get back to health. Now, because the reason why I say I didn't know how to give is because Spirit starts to talk to me. I hear a small voice say to me, if you go back to Tampa without your daughter, he's going to kill you and not worry about where he's going to dump your body because he doesn't have to worry about your daughter. I know now that was Yehuda, but I'm like, wait, what? I was like, damn, that may be true. So now I'm not saying much for like 24 hours. I'm quiet as fuck. You know, he like, well, what's wrong with you? I'm like, no, I'm good. We are sitting at my Aunt Sean's house now. We are the only two people up. That's why I say this motherfucker had a gift too. It was a few times some shit happened. And I'm like, this motherfucker act like he be like he's psychic or something. I promise you, we sitting there, he's talking to me, I ain't really responding. He say, so you ain't going back to Florida, huh? I was like, what? Why you say that? He said, because I know you not. You not going back to Florida with me? I was like, no, I'm not. This nigga lose his mind. I go upstairs. He like, let's just talk. Let's just talk. So this is before he loses his mind. So we go upstairs to the room and close the door. So that's when he keep asking me like, so you're not going back to Florida with me? And I'm like, no. He loses his mind. He starts throwing shit in my aunt's house, in her daughter's room. He's now throwing shit, going the fuck off. Like, I knew the fuck you was gonna play me, all this other shit. You trying to leave, like blah blah blah. I'm like, listen, I'm just sitting on the bed like, cause I'm scared, cause I'm like, this nigga better not hit me. I'm gonna call all my motherfucking cousins and uncles over this bitch, cause we in Cincinnati, bitch. Don't make me call a gorilla posse, bitch, cause I will call the gorillas over this motherfucker. Don't put your motherfucking hands on me. My Aunt Sean opens the door. And if anybody knows Bird, y'all know my motherfucking Aunt Sean is timid, but she don't play, and she thinks she real fucking cute. So don't try her because all she do is clean up. My Aunt Sean, child, you could be, my Aunt Sean cleaned up so much, she tucked her husband in the bed. She got out of bed and made the bed with him still in it, just because she wanted to make sure it was made, because she didn't think he was going to make it. Her husband is sitting there smoking a cigarette. He'd dump the ashes. She'll keep coming past, picking an ashtray up, wiping up under. Like, God damn, she's one of them. So she's looking around like, she look at me. She said, what is y'all doing in here? I'm looking at her with the bubble eyes like, she said, you all right? I'm like, she was like, oh, well, y'all can't be doing that here. Ain't no arguing and all of that. Y'all need to just go ahead and lay down. Like, everything gonna be all right. I'm like, so I wake up the next day. My Aunt Sean closed that door. She never said nothing else to me. She never asked me no question. He didn't. He started getting real quiet. Like we listen, just squash it. You know, he trying to still talk about it, but I'm like, just squash it. Go to bed. So we go to bed. I wake up. I bullshit you not. I wake up the next morning. My Aunt Sean is on the phone. Wish she had been since early that morning. She on the phone with all of my family members. She then told them what the fuck was happening. My grandma said to me, we not asking you, that nigga gotta go. And you not going. I said, Heard you. I said only way he gonna leave is if I give him the car. That's my car. So now I gotta make a decision about keeping my car, having trouble, or just giving him the car and letting him go about his fucking way. So we let him go about his way. He takes the car. He drives all the way back to Florida. He's pissed. He is angry. My family does not give a fuck. Like, you better get the fuck out of here while you can. So he takes the car. Now, what kind of car was it? It was a blue and white Lincoln Town car. Didn't have many miles on it because where we bought it from, they had got it from an old couple, and the couple had really never driven a car. So it had great mileage on it. We got it for a really, really, really low price, and we were supposed to pay some more shit on it, and we didn't, so whatever. He goes back to Florida. What happened? I love you. I just want you to be right. I miss you. What is you doing? Now, at this time, I'm staying with my Aunt Niecy. She was living in Bond Hill at the time. So I'm staying with her, and I started working at Speedway. So, okay, while I'm working at Speedway, and was this, wait, this is when he, okay, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward, but then I'm going to back up, okay? When I'm working at Speedway, it used to be this little slip. He used to come in the store all the time, and he tried to talk to me, and I'm like, I got a dude. I got a man. I got a man. He was like, all right, well, make sure you holler at me when you don't, you know? Child, at one of these times, I had broke up with Kent. That motherfucker must have, I was working at the other Speedway, and I was running the third shift by myself, and he had came in there to get some cigars and shit. And I was looking at it, I was like, ooh, here he come. And I'm single, bitch. Party time. Excellent. So he come in the store. I said, is you following me? You stalking me? He said, what? I said, you don't remember me? I work at the other Speedway. I said, I'm single now. He just started smiling real big. He was like, oh, yeah? I was like, yes. Anyway, we changed numbers. We fucked around for a long time or whatever. Anyway, that's different. So I'm calling him. I'm staying with my aunt. I'm just like, I miss y'all. I just want to check on you. But he got the number too, so he's calling me too. I'm not just calling him, he's calling me as well. So he tells me, he said, you remember that bitch Tina? The crackhead? Now, pause. Like I told y'all, we sold dope. Most of it, like if we sold the coke, it would be real coke. It's probably got a shitty cut on it, so we would put the Oblivion on it. You know what I mean? And then like to some of the stupid niggas, he would floss them with the candle wax, you know, that look like rock. He was selling to an old lady too, or whatever. But this one time we had real shit. This one we had real crack at the time. But he had was gonna sell it to the bitch Tarsha, and her name is Tarsha, T-A-R, Tarsha. Now I don't like to be in the trap spot when they I don't give a fuck if they just testing it. I don't like that because in my mind, if I'm in there, I'm smoking crack in my mind because I'm inhaling it. So I don't want to be in there. But he don't want me to sit in a car. He want me to come in with him because, you know, I got to watch his back. So we go in. Now, mind you, where I stay in Michigan Links, I'm no longer there, but Tasha still stays out there, Tarsha. She still stays out there, and she stays down the road across the walkway, across the street down the road, like maybe 2 rows. So we pull up out there. He like, I don't want you to sit out here. Like, come on in here with me. So we go in there, and there's probably like 5 people in there, 6 people in there. You know, he's selling her the shit. But he's also helping her or whatever to fix it up, put it on there. And this is the first time I ever seen anybody take like it looked like a TV antenna, you know? It looked like a TV antenna. And then she had, or he, I can't remember if it was her or Ken. He was, like I said, he was trying to help her out. I don't know why. Um, did I mention he was also friends with Deion Sanders? He, like, grew up with him type shit. Whatever. I never met Deion, but he had a lot of pictures. They had a lot of pictures of Deion in their house with them. So, he's helping Tarsha, but they was putting, what is that? The scrubbers. You know, the silver scrubbers for the dishes, the pot and pan scrubbers. They was taking that and putting it in like the antenna so they could smoke the crack or whatever. That was the first time I ever seen that. You know, I ain't never seen how it works except for New Jack City. That was the first time I ever seen it on New Jack City. So it's not a Brillo pad. It's not. It's one of those silver with the coily silvers. You know what I mean? It was one of them, and they had took that and like balled it up and shit real fine or whatever, and they like loaded it in there, you know. So then she is smoking it, and I don't like I said, I don't like because I don't like to feel like you putting that in my breath, you know. Yeah, the scrubber. Her dude hit it. When he hit this shit, this motherfucker went to clucking. I bullshit you not. He went to clucking. I have never seen, first of all, I ain't never seen nobody load no crack. I ain't never seen how nobody do no crack, how they smoke no crack. I ain't never seen their reaction when they hit the crack. So I don't know what the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just been with him when he sold the shit. I ain't never seen nobody. We ain't never really waited around until this time for somebody to test the product to see what it is. Her dude hit this motherfucking shit. He kept walking around doing that. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Now she getting mad because she like, motherfucker, you was topping my high. You need to sit the fuck down. He still walking around there like, I said, oh, I got to get the fuck out of here. Child, no. Now, that was the trap spot. That's where they go and smoke the dope. That's not where Tarsha lives at. Tarsha lives around the corner in the same project in Michigan Links, back Kitty house, which one night we had to spend the night over there because remember I told you we was homeless because we no longer had the apartment. We was waiting on the check to come. So in one of these nights, we're waiting. We go spend the night over Tarsha's house. Now, Tarsha got a little decent apartment because that ain't where she smoked a crack at. She smoked a crack at the trap over by where I stayed in. So it was so much. It was so much. It was so much. So now, oh, God, okay. So now back, me calling, like I said, because Tina, he said, you remember the crackhead Tina bitch? I say, yeah. Now, Tina, we used to see Tina at the club. Like I said, we sell the dope. We stand out there and we sell the dope at the club in the parking lot. Tina was one of the, you know, she would even like test it for him sometimes, but he thought I didn't know he was fucking this bitch. He was fucking Tina. You know what I'm saying? Like, or he used to fuck her or whatever. They had a sexual relationship and you could always tell that shit, you know. So she was cool though. She was never like disrespectful to me. And I believe like Starletta, which is the baby mama, his son's mom, who I look like, I believe she might have known her or was friends with her too. So she was cool. She never had a problem for me. I never had a problem for her. He called me while I'm talking to him on the phone. I'm like, so what's going on? Like, you still got the car? He like, yeah. He said, I need to come up there. I'm like, you need to come to Ohio? He like, yeah. I said, for what? He said, I got a warrant out for my arrest for attempted murder. What? Attempted murder on who? He say, Tina, I threw the bitch out of my car on the expressway. What? I said, why the fuck would you do that? He said, that he was selling her the dope. She was gonna test the dope, but he didn't want her to test it in the car. And he telling her like, nah, just hold off, wait. When we stop, you go in there and you handle your business. He said she wouldn't listen there on the expressway. She started hitting the dipper. He said he like trying to make her get out. She like, no, but he's driving on the fucking expressway. He said he opened the door and shoved the bitch out. The bitch had broke her legs and was fucked up. And they was charging him with attempted murder. And he needed to run. So he came back to Ohio. He came back to Cincinnati. Yep. Yep. I was working at Speedway. Yep. So he comes back. I start hearing him like having sidebar conversations with my aunt about me. And then I would like hear her like she crying on his shoulder. And I'm like, Now to tell you how long he was gone when all this happened, remember I said when we came, it was March. He had never seen snow. He was sick. So then he had to leave. He comes back before my aunt's birthday because of all the shit that happened. And that's how I know because of this. So her birthday is May 12th. So that just tell you the time frame from when we get to Cincinnati the first time, when he leave, when he throws Tina out the car, and then when he comes back. Okay? So that's March, April, it's now May. And I'm staying with my aunt, and I'm working at Speedway. When he finally comes back, he still got the car. So he comes back, he moves in with me and my aunt. Now, of course, we be in there doing this shit in the living room while they sleep, but like I started having dreams of like demons. He said I had a dream that you had a whole bunch of demons around you and you had one attached to your hip. He said that shit is crazy as fuck. I said I bet it is because you the demon attached to my hip. He was mad. He didn't like that kind of shit. He don't like when somebody say that. So I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You the demon attached to my hip, nigga. So my aunt go to work. I go to work. Kent is at the house. I believe I called him to see if he needed anything before I got off work. And he was like, no, your aunt called. I was just talking to her on the phone. And I'm like, oh, yeah, about what? He said she called. She was crying. I said, she was crying? Why? What's going on? She said her son didn't call her for her birthday and, she just needs to talk to somebody. What? What? Now, backstory. There was a lot of discussion when he was gone, right, within them 2 months before he came back. There was some discussion about him, and my aunt was like, one of my other aunts was like, that ugly motherfucker with his black ass. And my aunt, before I could say anything, my aunt say, he is not ugly. He is very handsome. Huh. Is that the fuck right? That's interesting. But okay. I say duly noted to self. Duly noted. So now a series of things happen. From the phone call to me washing dishes and cooking, and I'm hearing her like talk, say shit, whisper, and I say, what you say? I said, what'd you say about me? I didn't even say anything. He later tells me, like, your aunt be talking about you like a motherfucking dog to me. And I'm like, I know. I heard it. But you kept trying to say I was tripping. He's like, nah, I just don't want y'all to fight. I just want y'all, I don't want y'all to fight, though, about me. I'd be like, shut the fuck up, bitch. So I'm listening. She say to him some shit like, I had took a shower. Now, growing up, let me give you a backstory. Growing up, I was always trained. My mother trained us when you step out your panties, you wash your panties out. That's the way I grew up. So I'm used to doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even thinking. I take my shower, and this is before it came back. This is before he came back. It's just me and her in the house and Toddy, and was Jamaica in there? Jamaica might have been off and I think she had went back to Georgia at that time. So I had took my shower and I'm not even thinking. I just put my clothes up on the bed, the clothes I had taken off and shit, and I didn't even notice it. You know what I'm saying? Um, and she said something like, "Quartita put her wet panties on my motherfucking bed," and I'm like, "But what is that to say to my nigga? Like, why would she be saying that to my dude? Like, what?" So then I had made meatloaf. Now I'm a good cook. I can cook, but my aunt also used to be like a professional cook. She cooked for like banquets and type shit. And so I cooked meatloaf. Now at this time, the ketchup company had came out with this green ketchup. And Toddy wanted the ketchup, and I wanted the ketchup. But when I cooked the motherfucking meatloaf and put the green ketchup on it, nobody wanted to eat it because of the green ketchup. Although it was delicious, mentally, Kent and Toddy could not get it together about the ketchup being green. I'm like salty as fuck because I didn't cook. Now, one thing about me, if you make me cook and you don't eat my food, it's gonna be a whirlwind. We're gonna argue about some shit. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. That is a pet peeve of mine. And this particular night, one time before that, when we were staying in the projects in Michigan Links, and he was supposed to come in and eat, he had me cook this dinner, greens, and all this other shit. And this motherfucker didn't come in, and probably till either later on that night or the next day. I was so motherfucking mad. I threw the whole pot of greens, and I threw it up against the wall. The whole wall turned green, and I had to clean that shit. Why did I do that? Because it ain't like he had to clean it. I had to clean the shit. I threw the whole pot of greens, the whole pot of greens up against the... Boom! Bitch! I cooked and you ain't... Oh, I lost it. And then I had to clean it all up, clean the wall down. It was kind of stained and tinted, but I still had to clean that shit. It was a mess. Anyway. So, nobody wants to eat the doo-doo green meatloaf because it has green ketchup on it. So now I'm a little salty, and my aunt like, "Well, Quartita," I said, "but you eating her food? Why you ain't eating my food?" She's like, Quartita, just stop it. He likes my cooking." What? You fucking keep trying me, bruh. You fucking keep trying me, bruh. Like, you keep trying me. Like, what's that about? Now, the last two things is what really led me to believe that they fucked. He came to me and was like, "Yo, aunt, he think it's cute. He think it's cute though. You know what I'm saying? He think it's cute. Like, yo, aunt, he trying to fuck me. Yo, aunt trying to fuck me." I said, "I know she is, and you better not fuck my aunt, and I'm not fucking playing with you." But she's trying, she's trying to fuck me. I'm like, okay. So this particular day, I'm getting ready to go to work. He's in the kitchen. It's early in the morning. It's probably like, I don't know, probably like maybe 9 in the morning, maybe. I'm up. I'm getting ready. And it may be a little earlier than that because I'm getting ready for work. He's up in the kitchen. My aunt has her little friend over, and he's in the room. She comes out the room. I'm in the bathroom, just right there next to my aunt's room. You got to go past me in the bathroom to get to the kitchen, past the kitchen and get to the living room. My right hand. My aunt came out her room with a small lavender robe on, butt naked up under it. It's wide open, and she's walking down the hallway with it open. I stop and look. I watch her walk past. she get to the kitchen, I hear her say, "Oh, girl, shit, I done forgot he in here," and came back. How? First of all, you don't walk around like that when it's just you and I. Now, when she got out the shower, she may be in her room walking around like that. She's not walking around the house like that. You know what I'm saying? I said, wow, wow. I said, that's interesting. So years later, her and I get into it. I'm at her house, a different house, after my grandmother had passed. It was like right after my grandmother had passed, probably like a week. Her and I get into the biggest argument. And I said, yeah, just like you fuck Kent. And she was like, I did not fuck him. You take that back, bitch. I'm calling the police. I was like, I'm not taking shit back. She's like, get the fuck out of my house. I was like, I ain't going nowhere. Now, Jamaica looking like, cry out, knock it out. I'm like, you fucked him, and I know you did. I did not. You stop saying I'm calling the fucking police. I wouldn't give a shit. You fucked that nigga. And I still believe that is what happened. I do believe that. So him and I end up getting an apartment. We go in, get an apartment. I believe that area is called like Montfort Heights. It's right there off of Shady Mist in Cincinnati. You know, you go up, I think that's Kipling, and then you turn right on Shady Mist. Right off of Shady Mist is another little cul-de-sac called Richwheel Court. So we get an apartment down in the cut of Richwheel Court. Now, it's a decent apartment. It got some amenities that I like. They had one of those big brick walls, and it's like the one brick. It's not like red brick. It's like the one like rock brick. So it had a wall like that, and it was like nice. You know, it's one bedroom. And I'm thinking, excuse me, I'm thinking because we are here in Cincinnati, like with my family, like this nigga is going to slow his roll, you know. So now I'm still working at Speedway, but I've moved because, like I said, I've worked at several of them. Like they may float me around, but this time I've applied. I'm working for Miss Annette. Miss Annette Speedway was right there off of Springdale. And I'm like, okay, so that's over towards, let me just see, Northbrook, all that shit over there in Mount Healthy. So I'm working there. At this time, it's not a big speedway like it is right now because they've redone it. It was just like a little box. Only two people can work in that box at a time. It had an outhouse, and then of course like the sodas and shit was outside, and it's like a little cubby walk in where you can get the sodas in a freezer type part, right? All right, Evan. So he would come and pick me up from work and shit. You know, like I said, you know, we was chilling. Things was not as good, but you know, it was doing okay. But this nigga was still crazy. Now we had only probably then been in this apartment maybe a week, 2 weeks, right? We were not in this apartment very long whatsoever before the motherfucker acts up. So he comes and picks me up from work this particular day. Before he gets there, I have been working in our house restocking because I got to stock before I leave, right? So a classmate of mine, and like his name is Jason. Jason was probably like a year, 2 years up under me, but I knew him. He knew me from high school. We went to Mount Healthy together. So then he come. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm like, "What's up, Jason? Like I ain't seen you in a minute, you know." And I see him walking around. Somebody had told me he got a hold of something bad. You know, I don't know how shaky he was. You know, so I'm just shooting the shit with him, just talking. You know. Now we're done conversing. We're no longer conversing. So it's not like I'm like talking to this nigga or we're trying to hide something. It was never that, you know. We're done conversing. So Kent pulls up. Mind you, I'm just now finishing in the outhouse. I'm locking that up. I say, hold on, I'm coming. Jason, I think Jason said, see you later. I say, all right. Why did he do that? Why? This is how a paranoid schizophrenic mind works. Again, because he was that. Now, at this time, Kent had already made me his beneficiary over his Social Security because he would get Social Security, get SSI for being schizophrenic, paranoid schizophrenic. Okay, And so I had been, child, when I seen the shit that he would do, he was like, when you hear me say this shit, just go with it. Because I got to play crazy in this motherfucker to get this check. I'm like, oh, yeah? He went in there and was telling them people he had bubble gum on his feet, his shoes. Like, he told me he spent all his money. He liked to buy candy and bubble gum. And they switched that shit over and from his mother and made me, I was his beneficiary. So anytime he needs to cash his check, I have to go cash his check for him. Okay? So we're now living there. He's then got it to where it's coming to the house. Okay? Like I said, we have been there for a while with Niecy, so everything was already being switched over when we get the apartment. So we was not in our own apartment very long before this happened. Now, we didn't have no furniture in the living room. There was like a crate in there. We didn't have no bed. We were sleeping on like blankets and that type of shit. We was pallets, you know. And so I am at work this day. He picked me up. Jason's there. I don't know why Jason spoke to me. I get in the car. He like, so you fucking this nigga? Huh? I fucking saw you. You saw what? Bitch! Bitch! I saw you eyeballing this nigga like, that's my nigga, don't say nothing to me. I said, what? I said, kid, what the fuck is you talking about? I ain't eyeball shit. I went to high school with him. I ain't saying nothing else to this man. What is you talking about? Bitch, I saw you motioning your motherfucking eyes telling him, that's my nigga, don't say nothing to me. I said, man, you is fucking crazy, bro. That ain't never fucking happened. That ain't never fucking happened. I've never eyeballed. I never did that. Now we are in a big ass argument because he has convinced himself that I'm fucking this man. That's why I work there, because I be fucking him. I probably be fucking him in the outhouse. Like, it is going down. It is going down. I don't work too far from where we live, but it's a little distance, but it ain't that far. So we are arguing this whole motherfucking time right back to the apartment. Toddy is in the back seat. I'm like, what in the fuck? Like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. I am tired. I don't want to keep hearing this shit. So now we get to the house. He's still talking crazy as hell. Now at this point, he's kicking in closet doors like, boom, bitch, I'll fuck you up. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to roll the joint like, yo, you is tripping. I'm about to take a walk because I'm not getting ready to sit in here while you doing all of this. I'm getting ready to take a walk. He like, bitch, no the fuck you ain't. I said, yes, the fuck I am. So I get up. I go here to the door to leave. Like, I'm about to go because this nigga's tripping. Like, I'm going to just step out for a minute. He like, bitch, you're not going nowhere. You what? You trying to meet that nigga? Like, what the fuck? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, just get the fuck out my way. So I'm trying to go around him to get to the door. This nigga tries to pick me up and slam me. So I'm trying to maneuver because he's trying to, like, you know how you take somebody from the body and slam them, boom. He's trying to do me like that, but this the thing. I'm a wrestler. Like, if you let me get you down, you're probably fucked up. Because I'm going to put you in a sleeper and make you tap out. So I'm a wrestler. Now, I will fight you, but I'm not a boxer, bitch. That's not me. I will fight you, though, bitch. And it's going to go down. But, bitch, I'm a wrestler. You understand me? So he's having a very tough time scooping me, slamming me. So we in that bitch tussle. He finally scooped me by my legs. Boom. I hit the floor. When he do that, I jump straight up, and he knows I'm going to the kitchen. I'm going for a knife. I jump up, he's on my ass, and it is not that far from the front door to the kitchen. It's all about 6 to 8 steps, okay? I get to the kitchen. Before I can get to the counter, this nigga grabbed me and slammed me. When he slammed me, he bite me. He bit me in my motherfucking arm, right there, right before you get up under my to the underarm. He bit me and bit a fucking chunk out of my arm. I didn't even know. Like he bit the skin. And remember I told you his teeth was fake. I didn't know you can bite like a plug out of somebody like that. He bit the fuck out of me. He bit a piece of my skin off of my arm. We are in that bitch fighting. I like blacked out. And I'm going to say I blacked out because I can't remember anything after that except for the fight was over. I don't remember what happened. I don't. I don't know. Like, honest to God, I don't even remember anything until I got back to work the next day. I have no recollection of what happened after that. I don't know. I can't even tell you that because I can't remember. I like lost all of that day, and I only remember being at work the next day, him dropping me off at work the next day. I don't know. I don't know. I get to work the next day because that's all the fuck I remember. And he was watching Toddy. He says he was gonna watch Toddy. That like she wasn't going to Amy's or nothing like that. Like, oh, she'll stay here with me. And so I'm like, fine. I'm at work. I'm in a fucking daze and in a trance, just trying to understand. I call it my Tina Turner moment when she was in there like, he just beat me all the time. I felt like I was in that moment. But it's like, where's the pills? Because this is it. I did not call, at that time, I did not call my uncles, my cousins. I didn't call nobody. I was just really in a very dark place standing at work. Now, Miss Annette is at the desk behind me because, like I said, it's only two people that can be in there at a time. And so she is getting ready to leave for the day. So she's like tallying and doing the TO sheet and the count. And I'm just up there like ringing people out. And I just busted out crying. She said, what is going on? What is going on with you? And I was just crying. And I showed her my arm. She was like, what? I told her everything that I was going through. And I was like, I just can't take no more. I cannot. I can't. I can't. So she says, you're not going back home. You're not going back home. I said, I got to. He got my daughter. She said, where's your daughter at? I said, she's in the apartment with him. She says, you're going to leave work? Do you have family you can go to? I said, I can call my cousin who stay right down the street. Because where Speedway is, like if you turn out of Speedway this way, you can turn out of Speedway this way or this side of the parking lot. If you go on this side of the parking lot, and you turn right, you turn it on Town Terrace by Town Terrace, which is Town Terrace Apartments. Go down that street right there. That's where my cousin is staying in Town Terrace Apartments. Amy and Emil is now living there. And I've lived with them over there too. So, he a big sexy dude. I see you, big man. Little pants all tight between your legs and stuff. I see you, big man. Both of them is cute. Okay. Oh, another big one. Okay. Y'all just look like y'all ate a whole bunch of greens and collard greens and cornbread and fried chicken and ham and shit. They some big motherfuckers. They handsome. Focus. Okay. So, Annette say, Miss Annette say, you not going. You need to get your daughter. I'm gonna let you go home. I'm about to call somebody and have them cover your shift. You're not going back there. It's gonna be okay. So I call Amy. I tell Amy everything that happened. Amy comes up to the job But before she does, she said, "Do you want me to go and get Toddy?" I say, "Yeah." So she said, "Before I come and pick you up, I'm going to go get Toddy. I'm going to tell him that I'm going to take them to the circus. Um, and that you said it was okay." I said, "Okay." So she goes to the house to get Toddy. Can't open up the door, but when he opened it, he got the chain on the door. So she could see in, but she can't really see in. She like, "Well, where's Toddy?" I think she said after he had the chain on, then he took it off and it was just cracked. She said, "Where is Toddy at?" He said, "She in here." She said, "Well, I came to pick her up. Quatita said I could take him to the take her to the circus with my kids. So if you can just get her dressed, we're gonna go to the circus." Now he probably knew what was happening, but Amy said when she looked in, she looked and she could see Toddy. She could see Toddy in the corner crying, putting her pants on. Toddy is 4 at this time. I don't know what happened that day. All I know is what Amy told me she saw when she went to pick Toddy up. So she was like, that triggered her and was like, "No, she's going with me. Come on, Toddy, let's go." So Toddy come and leave. She put in a car because she had her kids too, and they came up to Speedway to pick me up. When they pick me up, they take me to her house. My cousin Emil like, "This nigga got me fucked up. Like, he got me fucked up. We gonna take this nigga on a ride." I'm like, "Do what you gotta do." So before this all happened, he knew, like he realized, like he came to pick me up. I'm not at work. They like, she been gone. So now he flies over Amy and Emil house. They won't let him in. Now where they live at, they live on the first floor. So the kitchen where we're at and in the house, you can see in the window. As soon as you pull up, that's their apartment. And he's in the window like, "Baby, I was wrong, baby. I was wrong, baby. I'm sorry, I was wrong." Amy, she thinks it's funny because of how he keeps saying it. She like, "No, Kent, you gotta go. You can't be here." I don't remember who the fuck let Kent in the house, but when Kent get in the house, he wants to fuck me up. But Amy keeps standing and sliding in front of him like, "You not doing that here." So Emil and them came in. When Emil come in, he come in with the white boys. He say, "Ride with us, man." Kent don't want to. He say, "You riding. Ride with us, man." When they get in the car, they put Kent in the back seat in between Emil and the white guy. There's a white guy here and there's another guy driving. One of them had like a crowbar or some shit. All I know is they took Kent for a ride, and I ain't had no more problems out of Kent after that. But Kent didn't leave. He kept the apartment. He started fucking with some bitch with dimples. Immediately, he's fucking with this bitch. She's at my house. Now I'm pissed. But he talking that shit. My Aunt Niecy had pulled up, took me over there to get some clothes and shit out the house, right? He got this bitch over there. She walking around, she got on a t-shirt and she got a towel wrapped around her bottom. She smiling at me like, "Hey, how you doing?" "How the fuck am I doing and you sitting in my house?" "What?" I said, "I'm good." I was like, "Oh, y'all happy? Cool." So me and him have some exchange some words and shit as I'm walking out. He talking shit, I'm talking shit. My aunt looking at me like, "Let's go." She got the car like, "Let's go." I'm like, "Fuck you, nigga. I'll fuck you and your bitch. I'll take your bitch, nigga." I'm talking shit like that. That's me. I'm talking that kind of shit. Like, "I'll take your bitch." He like, "She don't even like pussy." I was like, "I could take that bitch. That bitch ain't shit. She's a fucking junkie, probably." I was talking big shit. So after that, our next interaction, he kept pulling up at my sister's house. I was on my sister's house. She stayed in Hawaiian Terrace. He kept pulling up over there. "Yeah, I'm happy, whatever, whatever." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So he called me this one day. He say, "My check is here. I need you to cash that for me." Excuse me. I'm like, "Oh, yeah? Where that bitch at?" Had that bitch cash that check for you. He like, stop playing with me. And I'm like, shit, I need some money. So maybe he give me a little money if I cash this motherfucker. So it's early in the day. The check come. His check come on the 3rd. So it's early in the day. He come and pick me up. We go to CVS right there off of Colerain because I cashed the check somewhere over there. I can't even remember where we cashed the check at. But I cashed the check. Now, I'm mad because he fucking with this bitch, but I really don't want to be with him, so I don't give a fuck. But I just felt like that's so disrespectful and so rude. You know what I mean? Because you fucking with this bitch in my house. You know, she riding around in my car. You know what I mean? Like, let that bitch have the problem, but I'm just saying. That's how I was thinking. So when we go to CVS, I pick up a box of condoms. I pick up a box of condoms. He like, what you about to do with that? I said, why? Why is you worried about what I'm getting? We ain't together. He said, all right. Yeah, all right. I said, all right. Don't you got a bitch? You got a bitch, don't you? Oh, okay. Cool. No problem. You worried about the wrong shit. I ain't had nobody. I ain't have not a fucking soul. I wasn't fucking nobody, wasn't trying to fuck nobody. I just knew that would get under his skin. I just didn't realize to what degree. I swear I didn't. I did not realize to what degree that would get under his skin. He like, we leave and shit. Now he's supposed to be taking me back to Hawaiian Terrace. And you can get the way he's going, you can go this way down to Hawaiian Terrace, or you can go up this way. If you go up this way, you go into Richfield Court to our house. I'm like, where you going? He said, I got to stop at the house real quick and get something. I was like, oh, well, hurry up. So he pull in, and he's just like, Eric, my baby daddy, he got a back end everywhere. Now, sidebar, my family used to laugh at Kent all the time because I told you he's a paranoid schizophrenic. So anytime we would get out the car, he would put this big yellow club on the wheel so can't nobody steal the car. Every day, he would do this. And so my family, it was a running joke to them. They would laugh like, this nigga's stupid. Like, you got a stupid motherfucker. Like, why the fuck he keep putting this club on this steering wheel like somebody going to steal this car? I said, I don't know. So he pull in and he back in, right? So he parked. He said, come on. I said, no, I thought you was just going to run in there and get something. He said, bitch, you fucking me with these condoms. I don't know what you talking about, bitch. You not fucking nobody with them. I'm like, boy, go get your shit and take me back home. Like, get the fuck out of here. He like, bitch, you fucking me with them. I said, no, I'm not. They're not for you. You got a bitch. What is you worried about it for? That nigga said, you're not going anywhere. I'm going to beat your motherfucking ass. I'm like, listen, we not about to do this. We not going to do that. That nigga must have reached down and picked up that club and said, you fucking me with these condoms because you're not fucking nobody else with them. I said, listen, you acting stupid. Here, just take the fucking condoms. He like, no, bitch, you fucking me with these condoms. I'm like, take me home. This nigga sat there I probably about an hour. Like, what made me say it's okay, I'ma fuck you, is because he was getting angrier and he raised it like he was about to hit me with it. And I'm like, fine. Like, damn, like you tripping. Like, okay. So I went in there and I had to fuck this nigga. And we only used the one and I gave him the other two. He took me back. I had not seen Kent. And Kent pulled up one more time after that. And I was like, you got your bitch. Don't come back over here ever again. I don't ever want to see you no more. Kent left and went back to Florida. I've never seen Kent again after that. Never seen him again after that. Never. The next time I seen Kemp was 2 years ago when I pulled his mugshot up, the one that I just showed y'all. I had never seen that before. I seen him again after that. Until I seen that, I was like, that is insane. He was crazy. Melvin was crazy. Randy was crazy. Eric was crazy. These niggas be crazy as fuck. So then I give bitches a shot. These bitches is crazy. I'm like, this shit is like, I went through so much shit. I also had blamed myself for the rape, right? I blamed myself when he raped me for several reasons. Like probably 10 years. It started when I was like 12. I kept having visions of me being raped in front of somebody. I thought I was being raped in front of my boyfriend. Um, I kept seeing somebody like tied up, and I was like being raped in front of them, and I kept blaming myself, and I kept saying, "Why do you keep seeing that? Like, why would you think that? Like, why do you keep seeing that?" Over the years, until it actually happened, and I never seen it again. And I, of course, as you know the story now, like I was raped in front of Toddy, but I never seen that, and I blamed myself because I kept saying, "Did you manifest that?" Because you wouldn't stop seeing that or thinking that, not realizing that it was an omen of something that was surely to come. You know what I'm saying? Now, my friend, remember I said Shelly. I've tried to find Shelly, but I could not find her, and I don't know if maybe I'm just not spelling her name correctly. Her name is Bashelia Scott. And so, but we call her Shelly. At the time, Shelly had two boys. Her baby, her little boy was like 2. His name started with a K. I can't think of the name. And then she had like her one son was like 10 months. He was so fat. He was the fattest, cutest little baby, just chunky and fat with rolls everywhere for no fucking reason. He was like between 8 and 10 months. He was so cute. So there was a lot of stuff that had happened in between, like me meeting Kent and, just trying to make my way and all of this shit. The guy that I said I have, because I remember I was a paralegal, I was in school to be a paralegal until I started peeping a dude who was in graphic design, so I switched over my major. A lot of bad signals, a lot of bad signals. I switched over my major to graphic design so I could put myself in his way because he was so fine. He was so chocolate with big eyes, and the big eyes, they were like chinky, like Asian like eyes. He was so handsome to me. They was big eyes. He was chocolate as fuck though, Florida boy. Fine. His name was Brian Cook. And I was like trying to get next to Brian Cook. And as soon as I switched my motherfucking major over, he dropped out of school. Never seen him again. I was like, God damn. I said, maybe that was spirit. Maybe spirit was stopping me from like something in there. I don't know, because it was a fucking lot. It really was. It was a lot. That should be crazy. But it was a lot of bad signals. I absolutely commend you for sharing this experience, Queen. Because I know none of these. Yeah, it's a girl, no. It was not. And you know the most crazy part? You would think that the system will help you for like abuse victims. Girls was having to go back home to their abusive spouses because of some of the shit that was happening in there. You know, there was a genome chick. She was cool as fuck. Her name was Nicole. She looked Jewish. She had like a big nose, like a Jew or whatever. I don't know if that's racist, but whatever. But she had 2 kids. They were mixed. They were biracial children. Her husband was Jamaican, and she was scared of that motherfucker. She kept telling us, like, Jamaicans are crazy. I don't even know. Like, that motherfucker will kill me for real. And I'm like, girl, you're going through a lot, girl. You just going through a lot. She ended up going back home cause she was like, I'm gonna just see you, he gonna kill me. When I go back, he's going to kill me. And I mean, what else can I do? She went back home because Rebecca's son, she had two boys. And I believe one of them name was like Matt or something. I think he was the little blonde headed one that was doing everything. Rebecca's son, and this bitch looked like Mama June. I ain't even lying to you. The bitch looked like Mama June, a worse version of Mama June. Her little boy was fucking molesting the little girls in there. So he had fucked over Nicole's daughter and Tasha's daughter, her oldest one. That was like the same age as Toddy. She was like a year or so older than Toddy. And she's so funny because, like I said, they from New York. And, like, her daughter, when they stayed with me, had convinced Toddy, child. That's why you got to teach your own children. Because if you let children teach your children going to be lost, confused, and fucked up. Told you Toddy was 4. So after Tasha had moved out and shit, it was just me and Toddy. And so Toddy is upset with me this one day, and she's telling me she cannot wait for her birthday till she turned 5. And I'm like, okay, like, fine. Like, I don't see the big deal about you turning 5 because you're still going to be just fucking 5. But cool. I understand your feelings. She said, because Asante said that I could get my own house when I'm 5. What? Girl, no the fuck. Go sit your ass down. No the fuck you can't. No you can't. Toddy thought she could get her own fucking apartment when she turned 5 years old because Asante had told her that. Girl, no you can't. Toddy thought she was pregnant. Child, let me tell you something. Toddy was a little chunky thing. She had a big stomach, right? She had a little putchy stomach, So when we in this abuse shelter, my friend Kitty, like I said, my friend Kitty was in there. I met her in there. She a black chick. She was pregnant. Kitty was big and pregnant. And we all used to kick it, be in Kitty room. Kitty was in there. She was really pissed because they had Kitty in the room with this little skinny black chick who was nasty. Every time she turned around, the bitch had blood on the toilet type shit. Ain't really wrapping her pads up type shit, just doing fuck shit. And then we found out the bitch is HIV positive. Kitty hit the ceiling. But okay, whatever. It was who else was in there? I keep want to say her name is Tasha. I think her name was Tasha. She had 3 kids. Her kids was big, so they had to stay down on the one end of the place. And then of course my friend Natasha, and her 2 girls. It was a lot, and that's another reason why Tasha wanted to leave when I was leaving because of the shit that had happened with the little boy Matt, who was touching him. So Nicole was like, "I'm gonna just have to go home, like because that's how she thought. Like I just gotta go home, like because like me being here, like it's fucked my kids up, and I'm just trying to be better for them. But he gonna kill me. Like it's just what it is. He gonna kill me because like when he found out what happened to her, he don't play about his kids. This man is Jamaican. Like, they don't play. And I'm just looking at her like, don't do it. Don't go back. Because if you that concerned and you that for sure he going to kill you, he's probably going to fucking kill you. Nicole left. Nicole packed up her son and her little girl, and they left, and they went back. Yep. Yep. I was like, damn. Rebecca ended up packing her shit, saying she was leaving, crying. Everybody's trying to accuse her son of shit. This is also the same place where, what is that bitch name? I cannot think of her. She was, it's always an annoying fucking genome in a crowd of people. This always got something to say. Don't watch they fucking kids. Like, this bitch, I used to want to beat her up. Her son was the baddest little boy. We used to call him Damien because his name was Nicky. But he was the cutest little genome boy with little curly blonde locks, blue eyes, and he was bad. He was a devil. I mean, a devil. And he would talk. He could talk. Nicky was like 6, maybe, and he could talk. And I don't mean just like he could talk, like that nigga understood. He was comprehensive. You understand what I'm saying? So this day, he's drawing. I cannot think of this bitch's name. He's drawing, and this is like scribble. He's drawing, and she's like, "Oh, Nikki, it looks so good. You're a genius." He said, "What kind of genius am I? It's scribble scrabble." I said, "Yeah, that motherfucker is comprehensive like a motherfucker. He understands everything very well." I was like, "Wow." So Tasha ended up moving in with me, and it was cool until had she moved out. Tasha was the first person when we moved in. We had a crate. We had like 2 milk crates at this time, and like I said, the money had came to like 1,800. So I'm thinking like, okay, I can get some. So I got us a bed, and we only had the 2 crates, and I got the TV. I hadn't got the little pull-out couch because somebody had gave me that. Like the little shelter place that sent me somewhere and helped me get like pots, pans, all that kind of shit. So somebody had gave me the pull out couch, but I hadn't gotten it yet. But neither here nor there. So we have the TV and we have 2 milk crates, and I believe we had a bed in my room, or I was looking to get it. Tasha didn't stay no more than maybe a week to 2 weeks with me. She started fucking some nigga that she had met out there named Anwar. That became very tumultuous, but at the same time, I kind of had an issue because I had got, after she left, I got my phone bill. She had been calling her husband, but it was high, but it wasn't really high, but it was high. I didn't want to pay that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like how she was calling. It was his number, and I bullshit you not. It was like, say for example, say she started calling at 12 o'clock. The calls went like 12 o'clock, 12:01, 12:03, 12:04, 12:06, 12:10. Like she was calling him every minute, like because he wasn't answering his phone, and like there was pages on pages of this. I'm not knowing she really wants to be back with her husband, but she was used to going through doing certain shit. So she had been talking shit. Like I said, Shelly had kind of became in between, like coming in between her and I. I can't even remember exactly all what happened. All I know is Shelly was so mad about what Kent had said and saying that he was a devil and all this other shit. She had told Tasha some shit because I was talking shit, and I'm like, she better leave me alone before I fuck her husband. I say that. So Tasha came over. She's pissed. It's early in the morning. She like, so Q. So what? You trying to fuck my husband? You gonna fuck my husband, Q? And I'm like, girl, get the fuck out of here with that shit. She was like, everybody fucking knows I don't play about my husband. I'm like, okay, I don't give a fuck. I don't want him beating your ass. Why would I want it? But I just said what I said. Because I'm quick to say that. I say that shit in a heartbeat. I'm just like, I could not believe that she had told her that shit. You know? Child. It was just so fucking much. It was so much, so much, so much. I was so glad when that shit ended. I mean, really. I was glad when all of that ended. Florida was like a fucking nightmare to me. It was really a nightmare. I remember when I came back from West Palm Beach. Like I said, I came back. I came back in the middle of the night. Kent was not even sure I was coming. He didn't even know. When I pulled up, I got off the bus. It's like 3 in the morning. Tasha came to the bus station and picked me up. and took me to her house. So I was there for like a whole 24 hours before Kent even knew. So when I pulled up, we had went to the apartment. I'm trying to think if he took me to get the W-2s or did Tasha. Tasha might have taken me to get the W-2s because then we circled around in the projects and I seen him standing out there. He was talking to somebody helping them unload something out their truck. And that's when I pulled up and he was like, babe, babe. I'm like, this nigga, shut the fuck up. Girl, it was a lot. My Toddy suffered a lot. My Toddy suffered through a lot of shit. Like, I mean, she really did. And not necessarily by my hands, but by my fucked up poor decision making, thinking I'm not thinking about what's best on certain levels, thinking I'm still just doing a great job. Oh, I'm a good mom. Like, no, the fuck you're not. You're doing really, really dumb, irresponsible ass shit. Which is why I chased him around the projects. Remember I said I chased him around the projects with a knife? I had came home this particular time from school, and it was like a late day, and I had to catch certain buses and shit. And by the time I got home, it was dark, and he was supposed to have been watching her. When I came through the door, Toddy was standing there with her panties on, crying because he had left her in the house and she was scared. I flipped the fuck out. I went and got my knife. Now I'm walking around looking, and he come through, and I'm going the fuck off like, bitch, I take flight, he take flight. He take off at the door. I'm chasing this nigga around the projects like this with my knife. I see him pull the knife out as we're in mid-run. He stopped, so I stopped. That nigga turned around and was coming at me. I took flight. I said, no, he's fucking chasing me. I'm running. I am running, man. But he was quick for that. But I remember this one time, he would not get out the car, and I was looking at him like, yeah, bitch, get out the fucking car. Because all these niggas was surrounding the car like, we gonna fuck you up, nigga. Get the fuck out the car. He won't get out the car. And I'm sitting in the car with him looking like, get the fuck out the car, nigga. You Billy Badass when it come to me. Get the fuck out the car. He don't want to get out the car. He pulls off. I said, oh, you a hoe pussy. He like, what the fuck is you talking about? You see how many of them words you think I whoop all of them niggas by myself? I was like, you doing all right with me? You're whooping the shit out of my motherfucking ass, nigga. Get the fuck out the car. That nigga didn't want to get the fuck out the car, and I knew the fuck he was. And I knew the fuck he was. No. But that's what happened with that shit. I was so floored that day. I was standing in there doing my hair. My aunt come walking down that hallway with that robe open, child. You don't know how often I think about that. I think about that often. He wouldn't fight the men, though. You know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers that put a knot on that nigga head. I was born and scared, bitch. I was doing all right with my motherfucking ass, though. I was saying it. So he had asked Toddy. Ken had asked Toddy. This one I say, like, Toddy had just said something, he'd cry. He had asked her, he said, what you want for Christmas? Toddy said, I just want a surprise. Ken busted out crying. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, he's so sensitive. He really loves her. He's kicking my ass, but he loves her. I'm like, what you crying for? He said, because this shit was beautiful. My motherfucking kids ask my kids what they want. They want bikes and shoes, and they got lists. This baby just want a fucking surprise, man. I was like, this pussy ass nigga. Yeah, I'm a fucking nerd. What up, Chad? I went through a lot of stuff, though. Motherfuckers wish they can break me. They can't. They won't. I done been through way too much shit to get upset about the shit that's happening, even though it do make me upset, because I just so sick of, like, people fucking with me and all of the shit. I told y'all about, like, me and my dad going through the shit, stepmom. It was a lot to that. My stepmom and my daddy tried to fuck me. I'm doing house sex. They was trying to fuck me. Not at the same time. This is when my stepmom was locked up for them 2 years. So I had moved in with my daddy. He was staying in Price Hill on Wilder. And that's where they was when they came and picked up my stepmom and arrested her, and she was serving the 2 years. So I had moved in there. That's when I met Melvin. My daddy was a junkie, I say that, right? My daddy was addicted to heroin. He was a big heroin user. He may do some coke, or smoke crack, but my daddy, his preference was heroin. It was heroin or it was crack. He used to go to the methadone clinic. They used to give him, like, the methadone, the pills. My daddy used to give me the methadone. I don't know what the fuck methadone is at the time. All I know is he would say, "You want a pill?" I'm like, "Sure." Okay. He'll give me a motherfucking pill. I'm itchy all night, drowsy all night. I don't know why. I just assume it's like a Percocet or, a Vicodin or something, you know what I mean? Like, probably just making you itch. I don't know what the fuck methadone is. I move out. Me and my daddy kept getting into it. So this is what took the cake, a reason why I moved out before all of the other stuff happened. My daddy had a friend named Sam, and they was getting high together a lot. He had another friend, I think his name was Fred or some shit like that. So one day, me and Melvin come in the house. We go in the kitchen. I'm putting up groceries. I see that my daddy and them has left a fucking used needle on the counter, and my baby's there, and I'm furious now. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, why would you leave this shit here? My daddy like, I ain't do that. Fred did that. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? My bad on that. And I'm like, nah, this is bullshit. My daughter ran here. What if she would pick that shit up? You know what I mean? Like, I'm furious now. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna have to move. I'm gonna have to get my own place. Melvin like, okay, we gonna do that. I'm like, okay. So we was up in the attic. That's where my bedroom was. In the attic, it's like 3 floors. Like when you first come in, there's steps, but there's not like you can't go nowhere. It's just the steps. You're going up into the apartment. So you go up, and it's like that, and then you can go in the house, of course, right? And then off to the side, inside the house, before you get to the kitchen, is another set of steps, which is leading up to the attic, and it's two sides. So my sister and them was using one side, and then I moved into the other side and kind of set it up like an apartment type shit. So now Melvin is staying there with me too. So we in this motherfucker. We up there sleep. We watching TV, or as we sleep. Wait, I think we watching TV, but I might have been dozing, right? So my daddy come up there. This is what took the cake. My daddy come up there. Now, I've never seen my daddy act like this. He got on long johns and socks, and he looked skinny as fuck. Now, him and his friend Sam been down there getting high for hours. I don't go down there because I don't want to be bothered with that shit. I don't want to get upset about it. I just I don't want my daddy on drugs, but I can't. What can I do? You know what I mean? And he was doing shit like renting his car out to young boys. They don't want to bring his car back. They wreck his shit. Don't want to pay him like fuck you because they acting like my daddy a junkie. My daddy lost. You know what I'm saying? And he was like I said, he was a pimp. My daddy was a boxer. My Uncle Reggie was a boxer. Like they was well known in Cincinnati. Everybody knew Greg and Reggie Johnson. Like they knew my family. My daddy had came a long motherfucking way. My daddy had on long johns and some socks. My daddy looked like a toothpick. He was looking like a fucking toothpick. So he come up there. He closes the door. His eyes is big as fuck. He like, Quatita. I'm like, what? What is going on? I think Sam trying to kill me. I said, oh, here we go. I said, what is going on, Daddy? He like, turn the TV off. Turn the TV off. I said, what are you talking about? My daddy filed to, I am not fucking kidding. Bitch. My daddy falls to the floor. He is now combat crawling across the floor like this. He's like, turn the TV off, flip the couch up against the door. Melvin gets to a panic because he's not sure if my daddy tripping or if somebody really trying to kill him. So he jump up, he flip over the little couch thing and put it up against the door. My daddy is crawling over to the closet. It's dark in there, but I can see him because he got on a white long john. And my eyes adjust to the darkness so I can see. Matter of fact, we was either watching Dorothy Dandridge or we was watching The Temptations. I can't even remember. He is crawling across the floor. He's crawling to like a little cubby closet. So he crawled over there. He's dragging his body. He's dragging his body like combat style across the floor. He gets, and now he's in this closet, but it's cubby, so it doesn't have a door. So we looking at him like, what is going on? He like, Quatita. I'm like, what? He said, look out the window. We on the third floor, bitch. Look out the window. I said, what am I looking for, Daddy? Look out the window. If you see a police, jump out there and flag them down. What? We on the third floor. Who the fuck is jumping out a window to flag down the police in y'all house? No, the fuck I'm not. What are you doing? I said, I'm about to go down here. Move this fucking couch. I'm about to go down here. What is y'all doing? I can't make this up. I cannot make this shit up. I swear to God, Melvin moved the motherfucking couch. Turn this fucking TV on because I can't see. I go down the steps. I don't see Sam nowhere. Now, when you get down to the bottom of the steps, like I said, you turn to the right, you're going into my daddy's bedroom. You turn to the left, you're going towards the bathroom and to the kitchen. I turn to the right to go into my daddy's bedroom. Sam is peeking around the door because he's in my daddy's bedroom. There's another side room, right there. Sam is peeking from around the corner. I say, Sam, what are you doing? Greg trying to kill me. I said, oh, this is too much. I said, what are y'all down here doing? He come from around a fucking corner. He got his cane in his hand, bitch. But in the same hand, he got a pillow folded up, holding the pillow and the cane as he's coming around the corner. Man, your daddy is tripping. He's trying to kill me. I said, what the fuck are y'all doing? Saying, why do you have a pillow? Sam opens up a pillow, bitch. He got a knife in the middle of the pillow. I said, what is going on? What are y'all doing? Why do you have a fucking knife? He's talking about, Greg is trying to kill me. He keeps saying I did all the dope. He said I put too much and I did too much. It was even. It was even. Ain't nobody trying to cheat him. I said, that's it. That's it. I'm moving out. I'm moving out. I don't have time for junky arguments and junky stuff. I do not. I went and got an apartment next door. It's like 2 doors down, 3 doors down. That was the first one, but it was only a 1-bedroom, and I wanted the 2-bedroom, but the 2-bedroom was not available yet, so we moved into the 1-bedroom until the 2-bedroom became available. Then we moved out of there, and we moved at the end in the 2-bedroom by the nasty, dirty white people that used to come into Frisch's where I worked at Frisch's. That shit was crazy. So now we're not in a 1-bedroom. We're now in a 2-bedroom, right? Now, my daddy ended up losing the apartment on Wilder, and he had to move in with my auntie Niecy. So if I needed him to watch Toddy from time to time, he would watch Toddy because he would also have Amy and Emil's 2 boys, which is Niecy's grandchildren. So they would be over there too, because I'm trying to think, was this already the time? I think it was. Yep. Yeah. She had already been with Eric and broke up with Eric and all this other shit because Niecy had the boys. Because remember I told you she had signed custody over to Eric, my baby daddy, of the 2 boys, and my family went crazy. Like, Niecy lost her fucking mind, like, bitch, no the fuck. So she made her sign custody over to her, so now she had the 2 boys. So if I needed my daddy to watch Toddy, he would watch her. It was a lot of shit to that, too. My baby was fucked up over there, and a lot happened to my child over there, and I didn't like that. I ain't like that. I did not. So, and they had been there for a while now that I think about it, for real, because my daddy was really off and on type shit. So anyway, my daddy called me, and he like, Dig, what you doing? And I'm like, nothing, Daddy, what's going on? I want you to come over to Niecy's house. I want you to come over here. I want you to meet somebody. And I'm like, well, who is it? He was like, I want you to meet my friend. I said, oh, okay. I said, what am I meeting them for? Well, I figured you might want to make a little money. I'm like, make a little money? I was like, doing what, Daddy? He said, well, I don't want to participate. I just want to watch. You want to watch what? I give you a little money. I give you $50. Let me watch you fucking. Huh? I said, Daddy, I ain't doing that. What the fuck is you talking about? I'm not doing that. Well, listen. I don't want to participate, man. I just want to see, he want to fuck you, and, I give you a little money. I throw a little money. I give you $50 or something. I hung up. On my daddy like, what the fuck, nigga, you was tripping. You was out of your rabbit ass motherfucking mind. What is wrong with you? I bullshit you not. For a week straight, my daddy kept trying to get me. He had tried 3 times. That was the first time. The second time, he called me. He said, why don't you come over? I said, for what, Daddy? No, that's the same. Was it the same time? Did he call me back? Because he kept saying, I'll watch Toddy. And I'm like, no, the fuck you won't. I'll watch while you take care of your business. I was like, no, okay, I ain't got nobody to take care of. No, you won't. So one day, he had come to my house. This is the apartment with 2 bedroom off of Wilder. He had came over and he was like, "You want some?" He said, "I got a little powder. You want some powder?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool." He was like, "I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm gonna do what I do." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, Daddy." So he come over. He go to the bathroom to shoot up. I'm in my bedroom. I'm hitting a few lines. Like, he give me the coke. So I'm hitting a couple lines like, "Oh, that's cool." And I went back to the door like, "Daddy, you all right?" I said, "You want this?" He was like, "Hey, I said, "Oh, here he go with this shit." Yeah. Hey, you sure you on your own wanna. He a cool guy, you know what I'm saying? I said, "Daddy, I'm not doing that. I'm cool, Daddy. I'm good. No, I'm not doing that." "Oh, all right, all right." My daddy leave. I go to work. So I was working at Frisch's. I swear I cannot make this up. My daddy, and mind you, let me say this too. Kent was selling my daddy dope too, and I didn't know that. I had found out about it, and there was a huge, huge argument between us that he was selling my daddy dope. He had went into trying to go into business with my cousin. My cousin and fucked him out of money. Like, you don't even know what you're doing. Like, these niggas can't be trusted. I would have told you that. I go to work. My daddy calls me. Mind you, remember, he brought the coke to me. Remember? I do a couple lines. I brought the coke back to him to the bathroom door. I say, "Here you go, Daddy. I got to get ready for work." That's when he say, dig. I say, "Okay." I give him the dope. He leaves. I get dressed for work. I go to work. My daddy called me like 2 hours later, like, because really he's salty that he can't make this happen, right? So he say, Dig, Quatita, where'd you put in that dope? I said, "What?" I said, "Daddy, I'm at work. What are you talking about? What did you put in that dope? Were you trying to kill me?" I said, "What are you talking about? You brought the fucking coke over to me. What are you talking about? I gave you what was left." "Yeah, I hit that and I started shaking and I passed out." I said, "What the fuck is you telling me that for? I didn't do that. Now I done put something in the drugs. Like, get the fuck out of here." So now he done convinced my grandma I'm trying to kill him now. Again, I'm not allowed at the motherfucking house. I'm like, this shit, bro, you do way, way, way too motherfucking much. Way too much. Like, it's so much. Reason why I even wanted to write the book is because it's so much. And when my family at first time, this was years and years ago, when they first found out, like I was 23 when I started writing the book. I'm 42. So when I first started writing the book at 23, they was like, "Well, what is you gonna be saying? What is you putting in there?" And that's what procrastinated me from writing it, because I'm like, "Well, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. Like, it's my motherfucking truth. Y'all should have did it. All of the shit you did to me and took me through. Like, now you scared what I'm gonna say." So it's so much shit that I can really fucking say that I don't say. You know what I mean? But a stepmama came to me. We was driving, and I don't know if we was going to go and get some coke or something. Um, I can't even fucking remember. All I know is I'm back. This is after Kent, so I'm like 21, 22, and um, she's driving. I think my sister was getting ready to leave Ohio too, and go move back to Oklahoma. She say, "Somebody wanted me to ask you something," and I'm like, "Okay, what is it?" "Somebody want to watch us have sex." What? Girl, the fuck no. I was like, I called the name of the person because the person had already came to me like days before, which is one of my family members. I'm not even gonna name it. It's not my daddy, but it was a family member. Had came to me and was like, basically the same shit that my daddy said. Like, "I don't want to participate. I just want to watch you fuck D." Like, what? My stepmom? No, that's not gonna happen. Well, I don't want to participate. Like, why they don't ever want to participate? You want to watch? Like, what kind of fucking freaky shit is going on? You know what I mean? I'm like, what? No. So then when she comes, she's like, somebody want to ask you something. I'm like, what? She's like, somebody want to watch us fuck it out. I'm like, nope. And you could tell him that I said no. I told him no, and I'm telling you no. She was like, well, I just told him I would ask, you know. He was like, I told him, you know, if you go, I'll go. Like, no, 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 no. I never told anybody. I may have told one person that shit. I was really floored at that. Like, it's just so much shit that has happened in my motherfucking life. That's why I know that I can sit and I can talk to you about some shit. I can understand you on some shit. Um, Cause I done been there and done a lot of shit. That's why I say instead of motherfucker talking shit about me, trying to crucify me, you should want to be my best friend, bitch, cause I can help you. Cause that's why the spirit put me in place to do it. You understand what I'm saying? I survived a lot. Do you know what it's like to wake up and it's constantly somebody like for years, and that was before and after Cincinnati, like men just, like touching you in appropriate places when you wake up and, you frozen. You don't know what the fuck to do because, they got their hands in places and they putting your hands on shit and, they hands up under your shirt and like you just frozen like, oh my God, what the fuck is happening here, you know? And I believe all of the shit like that was happening to me is why I allow even half the shit with Kent. You know what I'm saying? Like the abuse and the rape and all of that shit. Like I allowed it. And Ken and I would get in an argument because I was like, "Bitch, you a rapist?" Like, bitch. He was like, "I ain't no fucking rapist." Like, "Bitch, you raped me." He was like, "You wanted it." Like, no, I didn't. Then why the fuck was you fucking me back? Because I wanted you to come and get off me because you were raping me and you had my hand behind my back. So I feel like I allowed a lot of shit just based off of the other shit that had happened in my life, because I felt like I didn't have protection, I didn't have a voice. Even when I felt like I was at my most innocent, I was in junior high, and all of the guys like was trying to talk to me. I was a very pretty girl, but I'm not knowing that they were lying on me, saying that they was having sex with me. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, who having sex? I'm not having no damn sex. I was not. I was not having sex yet. Especially when I went under them. And the motherfucking dean, Mr. Harris, he called me and I was going to Gilcrease Middle School. And he called me in the office and he was like, Miss Dean, I think I went in there. Yeah, that's the reason why I went in there. Okay, so I had an art teacher. My art teacher was a pervert, black guy. He was cool as fan. He knew his job. He was a great artist, but he was a pervert. He used to keep the young girls after school to help them with their artwork projects. And it was being said that they was like, shit was happening. And at this time, I'm trying to think if I was in the 7th grade, because I went there all the way up until my 8th grade year, which I left in the beginning of and moved to Cincinnati. So I think this might have been my 7th grade year when all of this shit happened. Um, but he would like walk up behind me and like rub my shoulders, massaging my shoulders, like, Miss Dean, you sure is pretty. I sure wish I could marry you, make you my wife. And I'm like, that's inappropriate. Like, I think sometimes they think you stupid because you young, you know what I'm saying? But I was not. I'm like, that's inappropriate like a motherfucker. I'm going to have to go tell somebody about this. I went to the dean of students, Mr. Harris, and I tell him, I say, first I tell him about, like, I feel like that was inappropriate, that he keeps putting his hands on me. First, rubbing my shoulders, it makes me uncomfortable, Mr. Harris. I don't like that. And then he keeps telling me, like almost in a whisper in my ear, like how pretty I am and how, he wish he could marry me. Mr. Harris say, Miss Dean, I heard you was easy. Easy to do what? That's your reputation around here, Miss Dean, that you easy. All the little young boys around here saying that they having sex with you. I said, what? I said, what are you talking about, Mr. Harris? I said, I'm not a virgin. I'm not having sex. I was not even kissing kiss. I been passed out. I had an appointment with Kunta. Kunta was supposed to teach me how to kiss, and I backed out. I was scared. I was so shy. I would not even eat in front of boys. What is you talking about? Having sex? Oh, God, I'm going to pass out. No, I was not. No. I was a very timid person. Even when I started having sex, I still never sucked a dick till I was with Randy. That was when I was 18. That was the first time I ever sucked a dick, and he did not believe me. He said it was so good that he thought I had been sucking dick for years. No, bitch, you are my first dick, and you are a genome dick that I've ever sucked, and it was a genome dick. And I was good at it because I used to watch porn, and I used to practice watching, and I knew what I was going to do when I did it. Okay. So I'm like, what? Like, no. No, then he said, so I really feel like you just angry, Miss Dean. I said, angry about what? I think you angry because you can't have him because you know he a married man and you really want him. I said, what, Mr. Harris? I said, what are you talking about? He keeping girls after school. Do you not know that? He said, basically, get the fuck out of his office. I got up and left his office. And I tried to change classes. I no longer wanted to be in his class. So when it was time to go to Mr. Ware's class, I would, because Mr. Ware, his class was at the end of the building. And at that point, I started skipping school. It was a lot of us. We would go over to Keo Bank house. We'd go over to Keo Bank's house. We'd be walking around the neighborhood. We'd just be doing all kind of shit. We were skipping school. Like, fuck it. Like, nah. It'll be with Tamisha. Tamisha was dating older niggas. Tamisha was dating neighborhood Crips at that time. Like, she was dating older niggas. That was the first time I had ever smoked a blunt, smoked weed, smoked a blunt in my life. I went with them. And this is how green I was. I thought they was rolling up weed in brown paper bags. And they may have been, bitch, I don't know. But whatever we was smoking, it was brown. I had not even known nothing about no cigars, rolling up weed, smoking weed. My mama and them used to smoke weed back in the day, and they was in little top joints, bitch, and I ain't know nothing about that either. I knew what the weed smelled like. That was it. I started skipping school. I don't even know how the fuck I passed, but I did. So then, by the time 8th grade come, I start school. I become a cheerleader because that's what I want to do. Now I feel like I'm a very shy person, so I'm like I want to learn how to get out my box. So I'm gonna be a cheerleader. So I called my grandma Mabel in Cincinnati, and my grandma sent me money to get my uniform and all of that stuff. But my grandmother in Tulsa was having an issue with me and my sister Trish, like she no longer wanted us. And so Trish was like, fuck it, and moved. And then I'm moving with Trish. Every time I go with Trish, Trish leave. Like, Trish didn't want to be around me. Like, Trish was trying to gain her independence. She didn't want to be a mama. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of shit happened with my stepfather. Some shit that shouldn't have happened. Remember I said I cut my foot at the park, and shit happened with my sister, and it was just a lot. So then I would call my grandmother sometimes in the middle of the night, and that's how I would talk to my cousin Fudo and shit, and I'd be crying like, I don't want to be here no more. So my grandma was like, I'm going to send you a bus ticket. You're going to get on the motherfucking bus this time. Matter of fact, I'm going to send you a plane. I said, okay. She said, we're going to put a kid tag on you, and you're going to fly to Cincinnati. You'll meet Niecy at the airport. I said, okay. Because she had sent the bus ticket when I was 11. I got on the bus. Trish was crying like hell. Trish was pregnant with Misha. My sister was pregnant with my first niece. And she was crying like hell. She didn't want me to go, but I was gonna go. I get on the bus, the Greyhound. A genome with a big ass beard got on there, freaked me out. I don't know why it freaked me out, but I jumped straight up, got off the bus, and said, "I'm not going. I'm not going." So when my grandmother sent the plane ticket this time, she like, "You're gonna have an escort, and you're getting on the plane, and you're gonna get on the plane." And I'm like, okay. So I've cheered at maybe 2 games. I got to go to practice. I got my uniform. I cheered at maybe 2 games, and it was time for me to go. I had already started fucking at this time. 8th grade, like going into the 8th grade, I had lost my virginity to Jerome Johnson. He was my sister friend. I was 12. I like after that, after Kunta and Vegas and Marcus and all of them were saying they was fucking me. I'm like shit, and don't nobody believe me. I might as well. And when I started fucking, I got it in good. I did. I didn't even like. I just became like wow, like wow, and promiscuous. Like fuck you and fuck you and fuck you and who's next? Like I didn't trust nobody. I didn't like believe in anybody. I was angry with God because God didn't kill my mama. So it was a lot. So once I started fucking, Jerome was my first. And he was a good guy. And I got pregnant by Jerome. I was pregnant when I was 12. And I lost that baby. I didn't even go and have a DNC or nothing. To the point where I convinced myself that I was tripping. I was never pregnant. Like, I couldn't have been. I probably was just a young girl, stupid, don't know your body and shit. Because they kept giving me pregnancy tests, but they kept coming back negative. But meanwhile, my stomach is bloating up. And, like, I think I had missed a period or two. And I'm like, I think I'm pregnant, but the test keeps saying no. So then I came on, and it was a heavy period. And I don't know if I was pregnant or not. I was just like, I don't know. But I always say I believe I would. But it was just so much. I just felt like I started fucking with Danny Owens. Danny was a blood. Jerome was a Crip. Then I started fucking with Steve, and Steven went to junior high with me. And I ain't really fuck with no niggas my age. I started fucking with Adonis. Then I started fucking with Junebug. Like, it was a lot. It was a lot. I was now living with my best friend, Kelly Day. We running the motherfucking muck. Like I said, we were skipping school, running a fucking muck. Kelly's mom was a barmaid, so when she was gone, bitch, pew, we was gone. Like, in a house, bitch, we about to hit the motherfucking street, bitch. We just be walking around the neighborhood type shit or going on people's house, have people coming over, we sneaking people in the window. Like, it was a lot. We was doing a lot. So then, like I said, I was talking to Adonis. Like, Adonis and I had never had sex. You know what I'm saying? But he was trying to get some. And I was not gonna give him any. So we went to Gilcrease together. So I got on my little short set, you know what I'm saying? It's like the little top with the little shorts that match. So I'm walking down the hallway. I'm with my friend. I might have been with Kelly. Adonis run up behind me and snatched my pants down. Now I'm pissed. And I pulled my pants up. I was like, damn, bitch, if you wanted to see it, all the fuck you had to do was ask, bitch. So I go and I tell again. I don't really trust Mr. Harris, so I go and tell the assistant principal, who is a female. She tell the principal, who is a male. Well, Adonis said that you offered to show him and said all he had to do was ask you. What? Cool. I wanted to fuck him up. I did. I wanted to fuck Adonis up because I just felt like nobody would help me. Like, nobody would help me. Everybody believed the boys. They didn't care what I said. They didn't take my word. So the more they did that, the more I was triggered. My home life was fucked up. I hated my stepfather for all the shit he had did and put us through. Like, I didn't trust men. So when boys was like trying to buy me rings, and like Jerome was the only person that bought me a ring. He bought me a teddy bear ring, and a bitch got me for that. And I was so heartbroken. He was the only person I ever let buy me anything or do anything for me. Because I started fucking talking like to grown niggas after that. Like, grown niggas. 12 and 13 talking to grown niggas. Like, Jerome was my first. He was 18. I was 12. He was my sister's friend. They went to high school together. Like, he would come over to our house. That's how I met him. Like, he would be shooting dice with Bobo and Rabini and all of them. Like, they would be over my grandma's house shooting dice and shit. Playing cards or whatever, like with my sister, like they'd be on the front porch kicking it, you know. And at the time, like I went from playing Mother May I games with my sisters in the front yard to like sex shit immediately because I was being fucking molested and waking up with people like trying to do shit to me even there, you know. And nobody was watching. My mom was getting her ass tore out the motherfucking frame before she died, you know. My stepfather was beating her to fucking death. So it was like a lot of chaos, and I just at that point didn't trust people. I didn't want to hear. I don't give a fuck. Don't talk to me. I'm grown. In my mind, I was grown at that point. Nobody protect me, bitch. I protect me then. You want to fight, bitch? Run it. Let's go. I ain't give a fuck. I ain't give a fuck. So me and my sister get into this huge fight. This is right before I leave to come to Cincinnati. Oh, my gosh. I had been talking to Jerome. Me and Jerome had broke up because I told him that I wanted to date other people. He was heartbroken, like, what? I'm like, yeah, I just want to date other people. I don't want to cheat on you because I don't want to break your heart. And if I stay with you, I'm probably just going to cheat on you because I really want to talk to somebody else. Like, I was trying to fuck Junebug at the time. Like, whatever. You stupid. So this how me and my sister got into a fight. We out in, I think it's Morningstar Apartments. Remember I said I was watching the first 48 and they was out there at the apartments where my granny used to stay? This is those. So it's a little basketball court behind my granny house, and that's where all the niggas used to be, like grown niggas. And so it used to be this one that used to try to get at me all the time. Mind you, again, I'm like 13 at the time. I'm 13. But, you know, like I told you, I was getting in the bar at 11 because they thought I was like 16 or 18. They only put me out the bar because they thought I was 16. I was 11. So at motherfucking 13, they thinking I'm a grown-ass woman because that's how the fuck I look. But these niggas around here, they know I'm a fucking kid. They don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck that I'm a kid. They just want some pussy because they nasty and perverted. So he like, come here, let me holler at you real quick. He was a chocolate thing, too. He like, come here. So he put me up in a little stairwell. He trying to feel on me and grope me and shit. I'm like, what? He trying to talk to me, and I'm like, this is what he hit me with. This is what he hit me with. I had never had nobody use a fucking pickup line on me. He like, come here, let me holler at you. I'm like, what? He's like, you dropped something. I'm looking like, what? Now, why is this funny, bitch? Let me tell you. Backstory. I had just came on. It ain't my first period, but I had came on this particular month, right? And I didn't have no pad. So I had rolled up some tissue. I'm using the tissue as a pad. So when he called me over, he like, come here. I'm like, what? I come up in the little steps in the little cubby. He like, you dropped something. My heart do like this. Because I'm thinking my little tissue pad then fell out my panties or something. I'm looking down like, oh, shit. He said, you dropped that conversation, Slim. What? Yeah, you dropped the conversation. I said, what the fuck? That's so funny. You so cute. Whatever. Child, I was just so happy it wasn't that tissue. That motherfucking pad tissue that fell out. Child, I thought it was the pad tissue that didn't fell out. So I didn't want to experience that shit no more. So my cousin Rico had been fucking a chick named Denise to stay right over there where he pulled me up in a little cubby here. And Denise was fucked up looking. She was this big with a big head and her teeth sat out like this. They used to call her Sister Toe Down, right? But he didn't get fucked Rico fuck anything, and he ended up getting her pregnant type shit. And plus it was somewhere he could stay, so he'd be over there. So she teach me like you need to start wearing tampons. And I'm like, okay. I don't really know how to do that, you know. She was like, I'll give you one, you know, you just put it up in there. And I'm like, okay, cool, got it. Just put it in there. So she gave me the little tampon and shit, so I don't have the little tissue issue because this is like the same day or the next day. So I'm in her bathroom and I'm like damn near about to scream for bloody murder. She like, what is going on? I said, I don't think I can do it. She said, well, I said it doesn't fit me, like, and it hurts. She paused for a moment. She said it hurt. I said it won't go all the way in there. It hurt. I can't walk around like this. She said, Quatita, did you pull the cardboard stuff off of it? I just stuck the whole thing in there. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a young girl. She didn't explain that. She just said put it in there. So I was putting it in there. I was hurting. Like, this shit ain't going in there right. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, it's not working, Denise. She was like, did you pull the cardboard off of it? I said, what you mean? Child, she had to fucking tell me what to do, child. I done stuck the whole motherfucking cardboard in my crotch. I was in pain. I kept saying, I can't walk like this. I didn't know. And that's how I know if a young girl don't know shit, she don't have a mother to properly teach her anything. My mother taught us, but not taught us a lot, not like that. Because I was 10 when my mom died. My mom's sex talk was, you got 3 holes. You got one you pee out of, one you shit out of, you got one the boy stick you in that you bleed out of. Don't fucking do it. That was our sex talk. Don't do it. You do it, I'm going to beat your ass, pretty much. So that was the sex talk. So I did not know. I did not know what I was supposed to do. I mean, so the way the fight happened, because the nigga called me up in a little cubby hole and was like, you dropped something, you dropped the conversation and shit. So then my cousin tell Trish, like, your sister out here talking to grown ass niggas, like, that ain't gonna work. She like, what? So she's pregnant, like 4 months pregnant. And she like in mommy mode. So she called me in there like, what the fuck is you doing out there talking to these grown ass niggas? I was like, bitch, I'm grown. Get the fuck out of my face. Like, whatever, yeah, whatever. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't talking to nobody. She was like, keep on. I'm going to beat your ass. I'm like, you not getting ready to beat shit. My sister retching got my granny switch. And this switch would seem like a mile fucking long. She said, you keep on, I'm going to beat your ass holding this switch. I said, girl, just like that. Girl, you hit me with that and I'm going to beat your ass. I did not care. My sister, I felt like that switch wrapped around my waistline and let go. All I knew is that my brother Ladrill was trying to pull me off. I had been pounced on her like a fucking cat. I was on top of her on this couch. Like, we were banging. I had completely forgot she was pregnant. My mind, like, all I know is that switch wrapped around my motherfucking waist like a slave owner, bitch. I said, what? I lost my mind. They was pulling us apart. My brother was pulling me off. They like, she pregnant, what is you doing? I'm like, I don't know. But all I know is I told her, don't fucking hit me with that shit. And she did. And after that, that's when my grandmother sent for me. And I moved to Cincinnati. And it was like chaos. Chaos like I ain't never seen before. I thought I had been experiencing dysfunction. I had not experienced dysfunction until I got to Cincinnati with my Cincinnati family, my father's side of the family. Now, I had met these people, but I had met them people since I hadn't seen them since I was like 3. Because my mother had to escape my father. And my aunt helped her do it because he was crazy. she escaped him, but he went and found her, and they got back together, and then all the other shit happened, and then that's when they finally broke up. But they had to like help her escape from my daddy. Like they threw the clothes out the window and had to go and get them on the side of the house type shit. Saying we getting ready to all go to the store, and really they was getting ready to take her to the airport, and yeah. So it was just that whole debacle was really fucking crazy. So then I talked to Jerome. Me and Jerome talked all the way up until it was time for me to go catch my plane. And it was like, he's like, I love you. You know what I'm saying? When you come back, we're going to get our own place and it'll be okay. Like, I'm crying. Like, don't forget me. Don't forget me. Like, okay. But I'm going to have a great experience in Cincinnati. My daddy was trying to hype me like, it's so much shit all the way around where my mama stay. It's gyms, you know, you going to have fun. I'm like, okay. It was a fucking nightmare. It was a fucking nightmare. But in the same time, the dysfunction was fun for my crazy ass because I ain't never experienced the shit. Like, my family had parties. It'd be people at the house all the time. I never experienced that except for at my step grandmother's house. And that was just like, because it was all of the grandkids over there, and we all was there, and then their parents, but it wasn't like this. It wasn't like this. Like this, they was drinking and gambling and it shooting dice in the backyard, and there was niggas everywhere, and it was weed and drinks, and I'm like, so this is home. So this is home. This is home. Yeah. So that shit started immediate. You know, I didn't even get to get acclimated to the family. When I got there, my aunt and my grandmother wasn't there. They were in California because they had flew out there for my other aunt's wedding. So they was out there. So that's why I was at Niecy's house when she picked me up from the airport. First two people, like I said, I met was Niecy and her son Emil, Jamiko's daddy, and then Amy. All I knew it was a crazy white girl flying through the parking lot of the fucking airport. I see this guy walking up to the car because Niecy at first locked herself out the car unknowingly. So we couldn't even get back in the car, so we had to call a locksmith for type shit. And I almost think like it wouldn't start too. It was like a lot of shit. So we just been sitting in this parking lot for like 2 hours damn near. So all of a sudden we get in the car, I'm sitting there. I see this guy walking up to the car. He's a handsome guy. And I'm like, who the fuck? She's like, look at this motherfucker. I'm like, who is that? She said, that's my son, Emil. That's Troy. I said, oh, okay. He walked up to the window like, yup, that's Greg. Look just like Greg. Yup. Got his big ass nose and everything. First thing I remember about him. Joking. He just busted out laughing like, and I started laughing like, shut up. And my nose, I'm like, my nose. I'm like, do I got a big nose? All of a sudden, I see this white bitch flying through the parking lot. Niecy like, what is y'all doing? He's like, that's her. That's this bitch. She done put me out the motherfucking car. Now she mad 'cause I won't get back in the car. Fuck her. I'm like, oh. So this is this side of the family. First experience off the plane. She pull up. I'm introduced to her. They son together is a baby at this time in the car seat. I'm just like, okay, wow. So that was the first inkling that it was going to be some really, really crazy shit to come. And it was. It was the wildest experience of my life living there with them, experiencing all of that shit. And I do mean from fighting to good touch, bad touch type shit. Motherfuckers shouldn't be touching you, you know. Just seeing how they get down, getting drunk, getting pregnant, like, and again, the parties and shit be fun. We was known as the party house. Motherfuckers in Skyline hated us. Even where my aunt say it right now. Like, they don't, because it's always some shit. It's always some shit going on. It's always some shit going on. We the party house, no matter where. We done lived in 3 different places out there, motherfucker, and it's always been the party house. You can't even park because it's cars lined up and down the street because we like to party and fight. And that's the way it fucking go. You know what I mean? Like, shit, we be in that bitch partying and fighting the fucking like. Child, I woke up one day, I was drunk as fuck on couch. The cross the street neighbor had one of my legs up on top of me. I said, I don't know what you're doing, but if they come in here, you're going to be in trouble. And they was like, you right. I know the fuck. I got so tired of people. Like, that's why I let myself get fat. I got tired of people, like, wanting to fuck me. And I kept thinking to myself, you ain't even no bad bitch. You must be doing something. You know, like, it must be you. So I just started putting on the weight. And it was not even like, I'm going to just get fat. It just was like an unconscious thing. Like, I just let myself balloon the fuck out of control. Like, it was just, and then I would lose weight. I lost weight at one point. I got down, I was in a size 10. And that was because motherfucking Emil, now I had a boyfriend named Emil too. And him and Emil was cool because they had the same name. But Emil's first name is Abrian. My cousin Emil's first name is Troy. So, like, they thought they just had so much shit in common. You know what I'm saying? So, I was with Emil for a period of time too. Emil was, that was crazy. Emil, that was crazy. Y'all want that one? Y'all ready for that? That was spiritually crazy. Meal was a spiritually crazy relationship for me. Not like you say you joined it too for the wait okay, period. Meal was crazy, not like Melvin was crazy or Kent was crazy. Meal was crazy because of the spiritual shit that happened. I am with my girlfriend at the time. Her and I live over in Kentucky. Remember the first one I said that her and her dude, I was with Melvin, and that's when Melvin got fucked up around the corner and all of that shit. So now, like I said, her and I was on and off for a number of years. At this point, we're in a full-blown relationship together. We live together. We got an apartment over in Kentucky. I had an apartment, and she ended up moving in. And it was her and her son and me and Toddy. And so, you know, that was like, what was so much, you know. And it was crazy, me and her. Man, ooh. Ooh. If I have her permission, I'll tell y'all some shit about the shit we used to do. Because, I mean, throughout the years, bitch, her and I used to get down and we do some crazy ass shit, bitch. We used to, me and her, we had a very, very rocky relationship. Very rocky, crazy, up and down, on and off. She wanted to rock Patsy. She wanted to rock her. She hated this bitch. She was so angry. She just wanted, like, me to be done with it. Like, she wanted to rock her. And I'm like, no, this is my relationship. So, me and her is living together, but we getting ready to break up. Because I was at my wit's end with the fuck shit, and she was at a very, very, very tumultuous time in her life because of all of the shit she had also been through. And we were really trauma bonds. You understand me? And so that's another reason why we stuck together. Um, so, you know, we would get down and we would bring men. Okay? We would bring men. And we ended up having a new neighbor. So Tanisha was the neighbor. Her and her dude, Chuck, had moved over there and they had a little girl. But her brother would come over. Now, Now, bitch, okay. Her brother would come over. We all are weed smokers. Tanisha don't smoke weed. Charles, he chuck whatever. He. I don't know if he smoked or he would have weed from time to time. He ain't really know. You know what I mean? No. But Tanisha's brother sold me. So we don't know that at the time because we're fresh out there now. When I first move out there, I'm not with Stephanie. Me and Stephanie link back up, and then she move in. When I first move out there, I'm fucking with this nigga named Mark. Mark was an alcoholic too. Mark dick curved. His dick curved to the motherfucking side, bitch. But whatever. So when I'm done fucking with him, that's when me and Stephanie hook back up and we move in. I taste beer so strongly in my mouth. I've been tasting beer for like 20 minutes now. I don't know what that is or who's trying to come through. But I stopped fucking with him. Now, there's Tanisha, there's Genome's next door to me. Next door to them is Tanisha. All the way at the end of the row is this bitch named Mo that live there. Now, behind us is the white Genome and her husband. That's Linda and they kid. They also, it was a lot. That's how I meet Tree and his girl, Keisha, that live out there. They also sold weed. Then it was the skinny bitch next door who had a son named Jake. Jake was a little boy, like 4 or 5. He'd be in the window, butt ass naked, just standing in the window, butt ass naked, like, little white baby, get out the fucking window. So everybody around me smoked weed. So me and Stephanie, we looking for weed. Like, God damn, ain't nobody out this bitch got no fucking weed. Now, I used to live out there. This is the same apartments in Newport that I lived with my daddy and Eric, and when we used to go bar hopping, that was in the front. I stay in the back now on Slaughter, 19 Slaughter Lane. You go out my door, you right there at the hill where the river is and all this shit, where all of the festivals be and shit. I lived right there. My daddy and them had stayed in the front some years before. So now, Stephanie and them moved in. We looking for the weed. I look out the door. This motherfucker is tall. He is fine. I do mean fine. He got green eyes, bitch. They like hazel green. He got long, pretty hair. He got them parted down. He got two plaits, and he's walking like the little young boy and shit. He got his pants swag. I was looking like, who the fuck is that? She see him too, like, bitch, what's that? I don't know, bitch, what's that? You got weed? So that's how we realized, oh, that's old girl who just moved in here. That's her brother. We need to become friends, bitch. Exactly. So we all become cool. He would come over and shit. Now, I had never fucked him. She had never fucked him. We ain't never fucked him together. But he was cool and shit. He would come over, and she be trying to get at him. But I play it cool. You know what I'm saying? I want to fuck him, but I'm being cool. That's whatever. So, girl, this nigga, child, I almost want to take my glasses off. This man was so motherfucking fine. He was a young boy. He was only 21. I'm 23 at this time. He's only 21. And I'm like, he is fine. So now me and Steph, we in the midst of breaking up. She packing her shit. Like I said, he will come over from time to time. And this particular day, one of the particular days before we break up, Stephanie and I, like, me and her have been through a lot of shit too. I got tired of her stealing people weed. Stephanie was stealing your motherfucking weed, bitch. I done seen her do some amazing shit. This bitch we getting ready to buy some weed from these niggas. This bitch smell the weed when she come up. She ain't saying shit. She like, cool. This bitch spit weed chunks out her mouth, handing them off to me. So he come over this particular day. Now the way we got our living room set up, Stephanie was crazy as fuck. The way we got the living room set up, both of the couches, the arms are together, so they form an L, right? She's laid on one side, I'm laid on one. But if we put our hands back, we can hold each other's hands and touch each other, right? Because we on the ends of the couch together, right? So he over there, he had been over there chilling, like we hadn't smoked. He brought the weed or whatever. So he's like, yeah, I got some weed. We gonna buy the weed now. So he's sitting on the couch, but he's sitting on where Stephanie's at. He's sitting like by her chest type shit. Now I'm kind of jealous, but I'm like, whatever. So she's like, yeah, we gonna get some. So she like smelling the weed, but as she's smelling it, she keeps hitting my fucking hand, and I'm looking. She looking at me like this. He ain't paying no attention. So I think, I don't know. She's passing weed out because she done stole weed out the motherfucking bag. So now she's passing it off to me, and I'm hiding it, like, because he got his back to me. He's facing the TV. He's sitting up there where Stephanie's at, and she's laid on the couch. Now, I don't say shit. I get the weed. I think we buy like a dime from him or whatever, and he ends up leaving. Now, fast forward, we get into it. I mean, me and Stephanie is into it. Like, we into it? I come over there. I don't know, is we into it? We are into it. And she's saying some horrible shit out her mouth. Like, the white girl Linda's over there because we was trying to smoke, but we didn't got into this argument. I'm like, bitch, you got to go. Get out. Corey's little. She letting him talk crazy. He talking shit, you know. He don't even know what he's saying, but he's talking shit. You know what I mean? And she's talking shit. Like I said, Linda's sitting there, and she say, bitch, that's why you got raped in front of your fucking daughter, bitch. I was floored. I was floored. Like, you would use that against me, bitch? She did. Do you know, years later, she didn't even remember saying that shit to me. And she apologized. She said, if I said that, I'm so sorry. She said, I was so broken at that time. You know, but she said that, and Linda just was looking like this. Because she was a quiet bitch, never said much. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay, bitch. So now we in each other's face, like, arguing. I'm like, okay, just get your shit and leave, bitch. Like, so Meal ended up coming over. And I'm pissed at this time because I got this little flaky-ass ponytail in my head because my hair wasn't done. So I just, like, pulled it up in this little flaky, small-ass ponytail. So now I'm salty because I feel like I'm looking my fucking worst and this nigga's over here. And so she's talking to him. He come over with the weed. And he keep looking at me like, what's going on? I'm like, fuck her, you know. And so she keep flirting like, yeah, don't worry, we a fuck. She talking that kind of shit. I'm like, okay, bitch, like, whatever. Like, if you want to fucking, that's your pussy. I don't give a fuck. So he calls me one night. He said, I just fucked your girl. I was like, oh, what you calling me, telling me that shit for? He's like, because I should have been over there fucking you. And I was like, really? Come over. Come over there. So he ends up coming over. It might have been the next night. And of course, he brought the weed. Now, he is fucking with a bitch that's like 40-something at this time. And he didn't really love that bitch, but he was always acting like he loved that bitch. He didn't fucking love that bitch. Miss me with that shit. So he's fucking with this old head that stay downtown around like City West type shit. He stay over there. So he bring the weed in and shit. We upstairs in my room, and I already know I'm knowing it's going down. But I don't know how he is about to put this dick in my life. Because I don't know. I don't know. First of all, he roll a joint. He say, roll you a joint. He lay on the bed. He dozed off. The weed is on his whole bag of weed is on the floor. I just roll me a little joint, and I keep trying to wake him like, here, hit the joint. He like, nah, I'll go smoke. So I'm smoking. I'm like, I'm just that kind of person. Like, well, I ain't going to smoke all this weed up. You know what I mean? This little joint he gave me, I'm going to just put it out in case he want to smoke. Like, I'm that kind of person. I'm fair. You know what I mean? I'm fair like that. So I'm like, well, I just put it out. So then he fake wake up or whatever. He was like, you ain't even go in my bag. I was like, nah, I ain't going in your bag. Like, why would you think that? He's like, I just want to see, like, bitches go in my bag. They steal my shit. And I'm like, oh, well, no, not me, my nigga. I don't get down like that. And here's the rest of the joint. Hit that shit. Well, I tell you, this nigga fucked me. I've never been put to sleep. This young boy put me to sleep. I had no idea what was getting ready to take place in this motherfucking bedroom, bitch. I ain't never been wheelbarrowed a day in my fucking life. The last thing I remember was this nigga wheelbarrowing the fuck out of me. If you don't know what the wheelbarrow is, first of all, he was fucking me from the back. And he kept putting my arm behind my back, not like the rapist, the crazy person, but just like holding my arm back here, like reins, like giving it to me. And I'm like, oh shit. So then he let me go, but then he picked my legs up like a wheelbarrow. All I know is I was waking up the next day. That nigga was holding me, cuddling. That's all the fuck I remember. That nigga had put me to sleep. I had blacked out, bitch. I don't even know how I got back up inside the bed because he's standing up. Now, this nigga, he would fuck me, bitch. Ooh, let me tell you something. Wait, whoo! This nigga would turn his motherfucking hat to the back, and I told you he got these long plaids, bitch. He is fine. I mean, fine. You understand me? Like, he fine. Like, his sister beautiful, and she was chubby, too. She had green eyes. They mama was fucking bad. Long black hair. She had gray eyes. She almost looked mixed. The daddy was tall and handsome. He had hazel eyes. The brother was tall, light-skinned, looked mixed. He had gray eyes that looked just like the fucking mama. They was a beautiful fucking family. This nigga would leave his motherfucking, like, Tim's on. So the whole time he's fucking me on this bed, he only then dropped his pants. He got Tim's on with his pants around his fucking legs, bitch. He got this hat turned to the back, and he is giving me motherfucking business. And I'm like, because first, like I said, we up in the bed. He hit me from the back. Then he then slid down, like, come on, down here, come down here, come down. I'm like, oh, shit. He's giving me the business in this motherfucker. Like, I don't even know. This nigga had this hat. He used to give me the business. He ain't eat no pussy. And, you know, you got to eat my pussy. You hear me? But this nigga was not a pussy eating. I did not give a fuck. Because this nigga was putting the business in my life. She did not know that I was fucking him. Because her and I became cool again. I was with Mill probably off and on for 2 years. He used to call me Old Faithful. I was so crazy in love with him. Like, I was in love with him. Like, that was daddy, bitch. That was daddy. You hear me? I was putting up with all of his motherfucking shit. Like, he was young boy doing young boy shit. And I was like, that's daddy, bitch. Miss me with it, bitch. That's daddy. So that nigga had put me to sleep, and I had never been put to sleep before. Like, our encounters were like, this one time, this nigga was giving me the business, bitch. He had me on the arm of the fucking couch. One leg was on the back of the fucking couch. The other leg was on the arm of the couch. I was holding on for dear life, trying not to fall over this motherfucking couch. He was giving me the business. I mean, he was fucking me talking about this is exclusive. I was like, you right. You is right. Because you was fucking the shit out of me, and I'm trying not to fall on my fucking head. I mean, he was giving me the business. You understand me? I'm like, okay. So then I ended up getting me an apartment. Because when I meet him, remember, we in Kentucky. So I ended up, a lot of shit happened in Kentucky. I ended up losing that apartment, and I was staying with my sister, Lee, because she had an apartment out in Moosewood. And so I applied, and I got me an apartment. So I was living in Moosewood. I had moved to Moosewood off of Bowling Green up on the hill. And so he ended up coming and lived with me and moved in with me. Meal wasn't shit. But I didn't even give a fuck because I just wanted it. Now, at this time, me and Steph was back cool, but she was fucking with this other nigga. And so I don't know if she didn't believe me when I told her, like, no, yeah, I'm in a relationship. She like, you in a relationship? I'm like, me and Neil together. She like, what? I'm like, yeah, we live together. Like, he'll be home. So I don't know if she didn't believe me. Cause like we sitting there playing game, we playing like I don't even know what we was playing. We was playing some kind of board game. Her and her dude is over there, and we sitting on the floor playing a game. And she said something to the effect of like, you trying me right now, and I'm like, I'm trying you. She was like, cause your legs open type shit, and I'm like, oh, and I'm like, I don't know. I was like, well, let me close my motherfucking legs, cause I think she thought like my legs over, her dude was looking. I didn't know what the fuck shit was about, but I'm like, okay. So we playing and shit. All of a sudden, you hear the screen door open, but he paused because he thought I was in there, like, fucking. So he paused at the door before he put the key in, like he listening at the door. I say, she look at me like, I say, that's him. That's Neil. I say, he at the door listening. He trying to see. He think I'm in here doing something. So he opened up the door. When he opened up the door, bitch, the nigga came in with groceries. She was looking like, I said to myself, oh, she didn't believe me or something. Like, this bitch must didn't believe me when I told her, like, we live together. Like, and then came in grocery. I said, what's up, babe? He was like, what's up with what y'all got going on in this motherfucker? I'm like, shit. So he putting the shit up. She like, they ain't stay very long. We played a little something, but they ain't stay very long. So I'm not knowing that this nigga is trying to fuck all of the bitches in Moosewood. I don't know this. All I know is he's not letting me go to his family functions. He keeps telling me that him and his baby mama, like, they keep going through shit. But I'm like, you not with her. You fucking live here. What are you talking about? It was just like one thing after a fucking another. And I, I came home one day. It was a lot. I came home one day from work. And I used to make my couches up because I'm from the South. And if you ain't got no good couch, bitch, you get some kind of sheet or blanket. You put over your fucking couch. You tuck that shit in. You make it up. You make it look good. You got pillows on it. You know what I mean? So I make my couch up. So when I come in, I notice that there is a body print on the couch. Now, I know y'all probably like, well, bitch, he probably was laying down. Meal is super tall, and he's thin, straight up and down. The body print had curves, like a bitch had been laying on my couch. I'm like, he must have had a bitch in here. This nigga, I believe he fucked my neighbor. Or she sucked his dick. Either way, I sicked my uncle on this bitch. Because I was like, oh, but you like dick like that? Great. Got it for you. I called my uncle up. I say, Norty, I want you to get this little bitch next door to me. I think the bitch fucking my dude. He like, oh, what she look like? Shit, I don't know what she look like. I'm like, oh, she's a short little black girl, you know. He was like, all right, I'm going to pull up. I say, okay. My uncle come over, and I'm chilling with her. I say, oh, look, my uncle here. I said, it's my Uncle Norty. And my uncle's handsome, and he got hazel eyes, too. And he's very nasty, you know. He's one of those. And so he like, fucking the shit out of her, like, yeah, damn, what's like he getting at her. Got her. Got her. Got her. He got her. I said, good job, Unc. Got her. I said, this bitch, you like dick, huh? She tried to get me. She tried to get me one day though. But bitch, I'm too smart. I'm motherfucking Pee Wee Playhouse smart, bitch. I'm motherfucking cherry in this bitch. Yeah, about no go, bitch. I know what you're trying to do. So she had a little dude, but they had broke up. And she real small, but she had two kids. You would thought she was like fucking 12 years old. She's not. She was grown, like me, and we both young. You know what I mean? So she had two kids by this nigga, but they had broke up. So now she's fucking with this other dude. He was like well, I think he was like a boxer or some shit. He was well known. I can't even remember. Um, but she have him bring somebody. He brought somebody over there. So she like, come over here, Quartet. I want you to meet him, Q. So I'm like, I take my ass next door. Like, okay. I'm like, hey, how are you doing? You know, I'm thinking we gonna smoke and shit. So her little friend go upstairs. It's probably like I don't know, like 2 in the afternoon type shit. And I'm like, I'm just trying to figure out what's happening at this point. Her friend go upstairs, and he's sitting there looking at me. I'm looking at him, and she's like, "Come here, let me talk to you real quick." So she kind of stepped me to the side. She's whispering like, "Here you go, just take him upstairs." And she slide a condom in my hand, like, "Just take him upstairs." Who? Take who upstairs? What am I about to do with this? Girl, I wish I would give away some pussy because the bitch done told me to give away some pussy. Girl, I wish the fuck I would give away some pussy because somebody done told me to. You're not getting ready to tell me to. You're not getting ready to sell my pussy for me. You're not getting ready to do none of that. What? Girl, I went home. She was like, oh, you played me. No, but you played yourself. You played yourself, sis. I don't know who the fuck just take him upstairs. Girl, beat yourself up right now. Right now. So she fucked my nigga. But me and him, we had broke up and got back together. The last time we broke up was because he jumped on me, put his hands on me, scared my baby. He lost his mom. He had been in jail before, and he would go. His daddy would come sometimes and pick him up, and he would go to work with his daddy. I liked his daddy. His daddy was cool. His mom was cool. I knew his daddy more than his mother, though. Like I said, he didn't want me to come to the family functions because baby mama was still coming around. Somebody said, well, we have an agreement that, like, she won't let no niggas take care of her, and I won't let no bitch. Like, what? Because he didn't want me to get his daughter enough for Christmas. Like, fuck you. Miss me with that shit. So we had got into this big ass fight and argument type shit, right? I'm sitting on a couch. He had came in. Oh God. Sometimes I make big. I make shit out of. I don't know. Maybe I'm making shit bigger than what it's supposed to be. But I was hungry, and we ain't had no food. And I took care of him. Like I took care of him. I paid for everything. This nigga didn't do shit. When I got him a Christmas gift, I bought this nigga tickets to see the Giants play the Bengals. That was $115. I bought him like socks and deodorant and underwear and shit. Like that was his Christmas gift. And I was like, well, where's my Christmas gift? This motherfucker told me I'm your Christmas gift. Merry Christmas. Huh? Yeah. You lucky to be with me. Like what? Now I told my daddy. My daddy was like, this nigga think he your trophy. He think he's your trophy. That's why he playing you like that. I'm like, this thing got me fucked up. I done took this nigga to see the Bengals. I'm waiting on my Christmas gift. This nigga tell me he's my Christmas gift. Nigga, if you only knew who you talking to. So I'm like hungry as fuck. He done went with his daddy. He's supposed to be bringing me something to eat. Never, ever, ever bring me one of them 99-cent frozen pizzas. That's just in the plastic. It ain't even got no name on it. It got hellified motherfucking chopped peppers on it. It ain't like the sauce is super dry on it. Never bring me that. Never fucking bring me that. I've been hungry all day. This nigga came in the house with that pizza. Click, click, boom. I lost my fucking mind. Bitch, you been gone all day, and I keep telling you I'm hungry, and you come in here with this 99-cent pizza? 99-cent pizza, this nasty ass, no name ass pizza? What you eat? You ate this? You eating this for dinner too? No, the fuck you're not. Why would you bring this in here? I go and see fuck off. Now he like basically saying he gonna beat my motherfucking ass. And something happened. I don't know if I don't know if Toddy had said something. All I know is he picked up the lamp. I said, "Oh, bitch, you gonna hit my daughter?" He said, "Bitch, I'ma hit you." That nigga dropped the lamp and drug my motherfucking ass off the couch, and we was in that bitch banging. He was banging my head up against the floor. I'm trying to hold my neck stiff so he don't bang my motherfucking head to death. Like, we went to fight, and I started screaming, "Run, Toddy, go call the police, Toddy." Toddy took flight out the door. Pew! I can't even. That's what it was. Child, that's what it was. That's what it was. Me and him got to fighting first. And I'm telling Toddy, run, go get the police, Toddy. When he hear me say that, he jumped up because he kept saying, "I ain't going back to jail. I ain't going back to jail." He jumped up and grabbed the lamp. I said, "Oh, bitch, you gonna hit my door?" He said, "Bitch, I'm gonna hit you." So I jump up, I run to the door. I say, I catch her. She's on her way to Stanky House. And I'm like, "Toddy, come back, come back, come back." Because he was like, he leaving. So I let him leave or whatnot. Toddy was in full motherfucking run mode. That nigga packed his shit. He had to go. He had them fuck my cousin in my house. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Now, she ain't really my cousin. Let me not call her my cousin because it was a whole threesome that was supposed to take place. She's not really my cousin, but she's one of those that been in the family, and her daddy was like in our family somewhere down the line, and her mom was a genome, and I could tell she liked him or wanted to fuck him. This is her MO. This is what she do. You know what I mean? Now she did it. Remember I said I met the little guy when I was working at the Speedway, and he would come in like, and I said to him like I'm single now, and me and him start fucking around. She starts fucking him behind my back. He tell me later on, like she used to let him fuck her in the ass or whatever. He liked that, like he liked she was freaky or not, whatever. I don't know, whatever. So this particular time we was gonna have a threesome, but it just didn't. Her and him meal, it didn't go down. And I wasn't really interested in it 'cause I didn't like her like that, you know what I mean? But I was going, if that's what he wanted, like it happened, but it didn't happen, because it just wasn't, I don't know. It was a lot to that, but it happened. The threesome happened, but it wasn't what it was, supposed to be, whatever. So she was like, I'm going to come to your house. Let me know when you get off work. I'm going to pick you up, and I'll come over and we'll chill. I say, okay. So now I call her. I'm working at Frisch's. I call her. I say I'm off work. And I'm calling her. She's not answering. Or did I call her? Anyway, I called her, but the bitch never came pick me up, so I keep calling. She's not answering her phone. I get to my house. She's at my house. I said, what is you doing at my house? I thought she was picking me up. Oh, I thought we was meeting at your house. The bitch had been at my house fucking my nigga, which is why she wanted to know when I got off for me to call her so she'll know when I was on my way to fuck home. How I found this out, because the bitch left her bra under my bed, and I found it. And I knew it was her bra. I said, why is your bra in my motherfucking house under my bed? She said, you remember I did laundry. We did laundry. It probably just got lost in the laundry. So when I asked him, I said, why is this bitch bra in my house under my fucking bed? He say the same shit. Now I'm mad as fuck because y'all both trying to play me like I'm fucking stupid. I'm not stupid. This ain't no lost clean clothes that got put up under on the accident under my fucking bed because it got deodorant stains all on the fucking bra up under it. So bitch, you had this on. And you was at my house fucking my nigga like. I stopped fucking with her for a minute. I stopped fucking with her for a minute after that. Because I'm knowing. So when we finally break up, old girl, she be on my live from time to time too on Facebook, still to this day. She telling me like, yo, your nigga was trying to get at all these bitches out here. I'm like, damn, why the fuck you ain't told me? She was like, I ain't want to get no shit. Like, I just wasn't on that shit, but I just thought you should know he was trying to fuck all the bitches out here. And I'm like, heard you. Like, you bitches phony as fuck. Like, why wouldn't you tell me, sitting in my fucking face smiling? Why the fuck you ain't telling me? You know what I'm saying? That he's doing that type shit. Like, but I'm like, cool, whatever. I expect that from his motherfucking monkey ass, you know. So, I'm always still in love with this nigga. Like I say, he called me old faithful because I'm always like checking back, like, you ready to be in this relationship yet? Like, I know you out here doing, you can roll the streets with your thugs. I'll be waiting for you. So I'm always checking to see if this nigga's ready to be in this relationship. He used to come over. He used to look so fucking good too. So I had ended up running into him like probably like, I don't know, maybe a year, 2 years later. He had gotten his own apartment. He had cut his hair, so now he's like rocking a little bitty, like, you know, little baby fro, but it's curly type shit. And I ran into him. He got his own apartment. He was staying in the Alm Hills Apartments in Walnut Hills. Now, the Alm Hills Apartments is, for me, like a haunted territory, haunted ground. Nobody should ever live in that motherfucker, ever. Like, people done died in there. It's full of junkies. Like, one of my friends' daughter fell out the window. She died there. She was a baby. She was stayed up on the high floor. Like, it was so much shit that happened in that building. He had ended up getting his apartment in the same fucking building. Anybody on here from Cincinnati and know about Alm Hill Apartments in Walnut Hills? You know what I'm talking about. So, so I ended up going over there. I had seen him, and I was like, wow. He was like, I ain't got shit. I'm like, wow, I'll cook you dinner. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad for him. Like, I'll cook for you. So I bought groceries and shit. I'm really hoping to get this dick. I'm really hoping to get this dick when I see him. So I go to Kroger's right there in Walnut Hills. I get some groceries. I go down to his house. I cook for him. Now, this particular night, I cook for him. We go and lay down. We do what we do. It's now 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And I keep hearing knocks, bangs, and kicks at this front door. I wake up and look. That nigga looking at me. He like, don't say nothing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? He like, that's my girlfriend. Now, I didn't know he didn't had a baby with this bitch. Now my heart is broken. I was sitting in the car one night, like, in the driveway. He done had a baby with somebody, bitch. Ooh. I ain't give a fuck. I still went over that bitch because, bitch, you not me. Period. So, this bitch is trying to kick the door in. She's like, I know you got a bitch in there. I know you got a bitch in there. She is relentless. Mind you, I tell you, I woke up, it's probably like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. No bullshit. This bitch was relentless and he was scared. He was not going to open up the door. I'm like, just open up the door. Like, what the fuck is, like, what's going on? He's like, no, that bitch going to beat me up and you up. Like, no. I'm like, what? Nah, that ain't gonna happen. And I ain't gonna keep sitting in this motherfucker. I did not get to leave until like 12 noon the next day because this bitch was still at the door. She never left. This bitch was banging and kicking on the door for hours. She wouldn't leave. She would act like she was gone, but she was not gone. He ended up having to call like the rent office security downstairs. And it took them a long time to convince her to leave. This bitch was deranged. So they ended up walking her down this hallway and was like, "Listen, you gotta leave, or we're gonna call the police." Like, this was going on. I go out the door. He like, "Go now, go." So I go. I get on the elevator. I fucking leave. Now this night is the night that I'm sitting in Amy's driveway crying because I can't believe he didn't had a baby with somebody else. I can't believe he is with this bitch. Like, what? What? I'm still in love with him. Like I said, I've been waiting. My whole fear was that he would take everything, like Beyonce said, that I taught and go be a good nigga for somebody else. And so in my mind, that's what the fuck is happening now. They done had this whole family. This bitch is living my family life that was supposed to be me. You know what I mean? In my mind, that's what I'm feeling like. Meanwhile, this bitch was kicking on the door all night. Why was I not thinking that? I don't know. So I'm knowing how crazy this bitch is, so I'm just like devastated. I've been devastated all fucking day long to the point where I think Amy even went to bingo, but I'm sitting in my car at this point. I didn't went back to the car. I'm just sitting there. I'm crying. So her oldest daughter come out like, "What's going on?" I was just like, "Man." So him and I was still like talking. We did not stop talking, right? So he wanted me to come back over. I'm like, "Listen, I'm not on that fuck shit. I'm not on that shit. That bitch kicking at the door. I'm not coming back over there." He's like, "Man, come over here, Amy. Fuck this shit." I come over there. Now, when you come through the door, directly to your right is the bathroom. Straight ahead is his bathroom. To his bedroom, and then step up a little bit. It's a closet right here. When you step up a little bit, it's a doorway leading into the living room and the kitchen, which is like living room, kitchen, dining room, all one kind of room, right? So we have been in there chilling, smoking or whatever. He say, "I'm gonna go and go down here and get some more weed from old dude." So I'm sitting at this table. The table is right there when you come into the living room area. Now my back is kind of to the kitchen, but like the door, the opening to the door is right here to my side, and I'm looking at the TV. It's like a little TV type shit. Like I'm looking at it, and I'm rolling up some weed. I hear him come through the door. I never see him pass this way. I look over, I don't see nothing. I look to this side, both of him and the nigga standing over here scared the fuck out of me. I jumped. Now, the nigga got braids. He a big, like, caramel complected nigga with braids, and he got on real dark glasses. Now, it fucked me up because I never, like I said, you got to come through this door, the front door, which I hear open. Now you got to come through the door that's sitting right here to my side. I'm at the table. To even walk around me to get to this side. I never see that. I got my head down rolling the weed. I never see them pass me. I look over. I don't see them. Nobody come through the door. I heard the door. I never see nobody come in. I look to the side. Meal and this nigga standing right here on my side, like, scared the fuck out of me. First strange thing that I should have realized that let me know something this night was not going to be right. So I'm like, okay, cool. We get the weed, dude leave. Now, he want to fuck, but I'm not fucking him because of the shit that already didn't happen. You got this bitch out there, baby, all this other shit. So now we laid on the floor and he keep trying to fuck. I'm not trying to fuck, but like he's never kissed me. So, cause I don't kiss, I do now, but I didn't then. So like he's like kissing me and it's so good, it's so passionate. Like, but he keeps trying to pull my pants down. And I'm like, not that in a trance, but I'm in a trance. I really feel swear on everything. I feel like I'm in a fucking trance, right? And I'm just like, oh God, what is going on? So now he takes my feet and he's like jacking his dick with my feet. And I'm like, what the fuck is this nigga on? Like, he ain't never did no shit like this. Like, what the fuck? So I'm like, He's still trying, but I'm like, I'm not going. So finally he stopped and lay down, and my head is spinning. Like, my head is spinning. I just feel like I was in a trance. Like, I didn't even know what was happening. I felt like I was in and out of myself. It was the weirdest shit ever. I've never felt like that. I've never felt like that. So we lay down. He's laid behind me, and the TV's in front of me, and he got his arm around my waist, and, he talking shit, and I'm talking. And so he come around my face like this. Now, me not knowing what I know now, I'll use this in a minute because, you know, I know how to work, I know magic. I'm not knowing none of this at this time. I was a very, very heavy Christian and Jesus believer and thumper at this time. And like I said, even at this time, like, Toddy was not even allowed to snap her fingers to gospel music. You better put your fucking hands together, clap your hands. That is sacrilegious to me. Don't fucking snap your fingers to no gospel. I'm Mary, I'll slap the shit at you. Don't do that. I was just always like wanting to be respectful of God in that way. So when he do that, I was like, nigga, stop playing with me. You know how the fuck I feel about that shit. This nigga started saying some off the wall shit, like crazy shit about like the devil and how, you know, he done been to hell before and it wasn't that bad. Right. I didn't tell him that part. I didn't. I got to pause. Let me pause this. Remember I said because it was hellified spiritual shit that was going on with this guy. That was the crazy part, right? I'm still living in the apartments, right? But me and him is now fucking at this time. Stephanie's no longer there. It's him and I. We fucking. He don't live with me, but we now fucking, right? This is after the wheelbarrow and all of this shit. So this particular day, he's supposed to come over the night before, but the day before, but he don't come over 2 days before. He don't come over. So now I'm Saudi, but he end up pulling up. When he pull up, he say, "Come outside. Come outside. We smoking like this nigga getting me high, 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 high." We riding around the city smoking, and then we come back to Kentucky, and we park in front of my apartments because in a minute I got to go and get Toddy from school. So we talking and shit, and I'm like, why the fuck didn't you come over? He was like, I'm going to be honest with you, Q. I'm like, what? He leaned over and pulled his pants down, and he got a Band-Aid on his ass. He said, man, I couldn't even do that to you. I was like, what? He said, man, this bitch burnt me. I said, what? I said, are you fucking somebody else? Like, wow. Like, okay. I said, well, cool, I respect you. He said, I respect you too much. I wouldn't do you like that. He said, I had to go to the doctor. They had to give me a shot like this bitch burned me. I'm like, oh, okay, well, cool, whatever. So we smoking. And he had been telling me when we was riding through the city, I'm always trying to talk Jesus into him. You know what I'm saying? At this time, like, don't you just want to know Jesus? He is saving your life. Don't you just want to let him into your heart? You got to change yourself. You cannot just be out here doing the stuff you was doing. Girl, the fuck back, okay? So he was like, oh, nah, that nigga, me and that nigga good. This how he talking. Me and that nigga good. He know what's up with me. Me and that nigga all right. He said, I got too much evil in me I still want to do. I'm like, oh, my God, I got to save him. I'm going to have to get on my knees. I'm going to have to speak in tongues because I got to have a come to Jesus moment. I'm going to have to save him because, girl, bad. So we are parked now. We sitting back in front of my apartment. I am high as a kite. We have smoked 2 blunts to the face. And we are actually in the middle of the second blunt. And I look over at him. Oh, I got the chills. I look over at him. He smiled. When he smiled, my right hand, his whole face contorted. It looked like a demon face. Like if you've ever seen The Devil's Advocate, in The Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves, Charlize Theron, and Al Pacino. And then Tamara something, she was the chick that used to play on Law and Order as the forensic doctor, right? The black chick. Her face, when she's putting on the dress in that movie, and her face contort like that, that's the way his fucking face looks. I look over, his face do that. I said, bitch, you high as fuck. I pass him back the joint, looking at him. He's still smiling like, what? I'm like, nigga, no, I'm high as hell. I gotta go get Toddy. He like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, I gotta go get Toddy. I'm like, I'm tripping, cause his face fucking morphed and contorted right in front of me, and I'm like, bitch, you high. Get the fuck out the car, cause you high. Now, what made me believe that I may have just been high and tripping? I get out the car, I go and get in my car. I had just got this car, and I had to do some shady shit to get this car with a white goddamn governor. I didn't want to have to do no shit, but he owned the car lot, and that's a long story, but I got the car. Okay. I get in my car, I start to back out because I got to go and get Toddy. He back out. He's not watching because he's high as fuck. I back out, Meal backs out, Meal backs straight into my car and is ramming the engine because he can't figure out why he can't go. I'm screaming, stop! He finally turned around and see like, oh, shit. I'm like, bitch, you going to pay for it? So we got into it about that. He paid for my motherfucking car. He was supposed to get his dead anyway. He never fucking pays for my car. So I'm like, well, maybe I was high because he high like that. So maybe I'm just real fucking high. And maybe I didn't see what I thought I had saw, right? Now, fast forward, I'm back at this apartment in Hills, right? And we laid on the floor. Now, he didn't put his hand in front of me like this. And I'm like, boy, stop. You know how I feel about that shit. Jesus, don't like that. So he started talking about he is his. And I've been to hell and it ain't that bad. And I'm like, what? What is you talking about? You better knock it the fuck off. In that instance of him saying he is his, and I'm like, he is his, my voice in my head, spirit say, record. Once I heard record, I can't remember shit this nigga was saying, and I was supposed to be recording it in my mind. So I sit up, because now I'm looking at him like, what? He is saying some shit out of his mouth, and it's scaring me. And this is what made me believe that he was not just, like, he wasn't just pulling my leg trying to scare me. Because when I slid back, I'm now on my knees looking at him. He done slid up, so he's sitting in the sitting position up against the wall. He's looking at me. He say this. Oh, I got chills even thinking about it. He say, Quatita. I said, stop playing. Stop playing with me. He said, you know who I am. I say, what is you talking about? He said, you've had a conversation with me before. And I told you that if I go, the weed goes, the porn goes. Now I'm shook because don't nobody know about that conversation. I'm like, what? I jump up, I grab my socks and shit, and I walk over to the table. I'm looking at him, and he keep calling my name. Quatita. So I go in the bathroom. Why? I'm so fucking dramatic. Now I understand where Toddy get her dramatics from. I go in the bathroom. I'm looking at myself crying in the mirror like, bitch, get it together. Get it together, bitch. I'm like, what is happening? Like, calm your ass down. So I walk back out there. I sit at the table. When I got all my shit, like my socks, my purse, it's all on the table. Like, he sit up. He said, let me get a light. And now I'm like, is he fucking with me? Is he fucking with me? So I get the lighter and I'm reaching. And he's reaching slow. And he do something, but it scared the fuck out of me. And he snatch it. And I jump back and he start laughing. He like, I'm a tricky devil, aren't I? He must have said, Quatita. I grabbed all my shit off the table and darted to the motherfucking door. I could not get out the door fast enough. I was trembling, shaking, crying, trying to get the door. He's calling my name in a very slow pace like that this whole time. He never moves off the floor. I can't get out. I'm going down the hallway fast as fuck trying to get to this elevator. Now I done forgot. One of the elevators is broken. It's two of them, but one is broken and the other one is slow as fuck. I'm over there like, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Oh my God. Boom, boom. The elevator opens. I jump in the elevator. I look. I go down. When I come off the elevator, now when you get out the elevator, bitch, the security box is right here. The doors across from that. The stairwell doors right there. The elevators open up. I step off. Security is not in the box. It's 5 in the morning. I am scared to death. This is some surreal shit that I've never seen before in my life, like the shit that was happening. I don't see security. So now I'm standing there looking at security because now I see him outside. He's smoking, a white guy. And I'm looking at the stairs because I got to get to the door. The stairs is right there. And I'm in my mind, this nigga about to get me. I take flight. I dart out the door. I'm huddled outside the door, and it's chilly outside. I'm huddled in a corner. I'm crying, trembling. Security like, are you all right? I'm like, he was like, the bus just went around that way. I said, is it running? He was like, yes. I took flight. He said, catch it right over there. I take off running. Now, I'm not as big as I am right now, but I'm a thick chick. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to hide behind the telephone pole because I'm scared as fuck. Like, I don't know. I look. This nigga's coming out the door. He like, hey, what are you doing? You tripping? I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. My soul said I wasn't tripping. I knew the fuck I was not. I already seen that nigga morph before. So I know I'm not tripping. I'm not bugging. I'm waiting on the bus. He running over. Now he's standing on one side of the street. I'm standing on the other side. We both see the bus. It's getting ready to pull up. We looking like this. He looking like this. He say, and take off running back in the building. The bus pull up. That's when I jump on the bus and he's locked eyes. That's when he do like this and take off running. The bus door closed and take off, and I'm standing there because I'm still. It's like the shit is surreal to me. Like I'm just standing there looking like. The bus driver keeps saying, "Hey, you all right? You all right?" I'm in trance. I don't say anything. I don't even move. I'm shook. He say, "Hey," he stopped the bus. He say, "You all right?" He say, "Q." I look. It's my friend Brad driving the bus. I'm like, "Ah." He like, "You good?" That nigga put his hands on you. Did that nigga? I'm like, "No, you're not gonna believe me." He said, "Man, have a seat. Just have a seat, man. You good?" I was like, I went all the way to the back of the bus. I'm back there crying like, I don't know what the fuck. All I know, it was the scariest shit in my life. Now, reason why I go all the way to the back of the bus because Brad is driving the bus. Who is Brad? He's the one that I know also is a demon. I done been to his house before. And I realized he was fucking this nigga. But whatever, that's a different story. Okay? And I just met him and had this like I listen. I went to Brad's house. Stephanie was pregnant at the time. That's how I know this is all around the same time because of her being pregnant. And he had his friend over there. He was like, "Oh no, this is my friend. He run, do stuff for me and whatever." I'm looking around. Brad is decorated, military. He's decorated. I'm seeing all kind of stars, hearts, and fucking awards. And I'm thinking, I said, "You know all of the secrets, so you're not dumb to none of this shit." Spirit keeps saying you sitting amongst demons, all of them. And I'm like, what? Mind you, I was definitely like, what? I was shook. Okay, so now when Brad is on the bus, he stopped the motherfucking bus. He come to the back. He said, "Did that nigga put his fucking hands on you?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Then what is going on?" I said, "You are not gonna believe me. You didn't believe me." He was like, "Try me." I'm like, that nigga just turned into a demon in this motherfucking house. Like this shit was surreal, and I'm trying to help him tell it. He like, "It's cool. I believe you." I'm like, "No, you don't." He like, "I do. I used to have a demon attached to my back." Now, I believe in him because of the previous experience being at his house in the spirit, like you surrounded by demons. So I get off. I was living on Mustang at the time. I had a condo. I get in the house. Stephanie is up. Stephanie is pregnant with May May at the time. And she had her two little boys, but she was pregnant with the little girl. At this time, we wasn't together. I'm still in love with her, but she needed a place to go. Her current baby daddy had broke up, so she needed a place to go. So I took her in with the babies, because they my babies, like they're my kids, you know. So she's staying with me, and when I come to the door, she was like, she said, God woke me up and told me you was on your way home and something was wrong. That's why I'm up. What the fuck didn't happen? I just fell on the floor like, bitch, it was crazy. She said, I knew it was something, bitch. I was like floored. I had not seen Neil after that. I was not trying to see him after that. Listen, she hadn't seen this nigga at the club years later, like, he has your number? Nope. When I moved to the Faye, right before I moved back to Tulsa, this was in 2009, Toddy, his sister, had started staying across the street. Me and her had became very close until we started having a fight. We fought like this bitch was big. I fought this bitch. That's when I said she pulled my locks out. Whole nother story. We'll talk about it some other time. But Toddy come in the house like, Mama, that's Neil outside. I said, what? Huh? She said the little truck, cause there used to be a truck that come out there. You know how you got the ice cream truck, but this was like the truck. They sold like fucking Pampers, cigarettes, like whatever the fuck you need on the truck. They had the truck. So she said I was at the truck and I backed up. I don't think she even backed into him on an accident, and it was Neil. I jumped up, slammed the door. Boom! Stay your ass in the house. Lock, lock, lock. Yeah, stay your ass in here. Nah, it's cool. I'd never seen that nigga again, and I was not planning on that. No, no. I said I can't. I can't. So that was the time when I was staying in the apartment. Remember I say I would walk around my living room 7 times trying to bring shit down, and I was learning how to do voodoo, and that's when I sued them motherfuckers, and I won because I was emptying their pockets via voodoo because they was fucking me up. They was fucked with me. That's a whole other story. We'll talk about that some other time, too. I done had y'all on here way too long. I love y'all for listening to my motherfucking story times, bitch, because I be going through shit and people don't even know. And then they always talk about my life is good, bitch. If y'all knew the struggle of what the fuck I came through just to get to where I am right now, bitch, y'all would understand me and why I clicked the fuck out, bitch. Click, click, boom, because I don't be on all that shit. I done been through too much. I done been through too much. You know what I'm saying? And I just not be on that shit. I just really the fuck don't. So I mind my business. I be wanting everybody else to mind their motherfucking business too. Let's try to make some shit better instead of making it worse. Because I've seen really bad. I've seen worse. My best friend daughter was murdered. Like she had just been at my fucking house. Like that's some other shit. I got a lot of stories we could tell. And we will get to it. Maybe I'll just tell them. Somebody want to fucking help me write this book? We can write. I got chapters. I don't know how many. I got about 7 chapters of this book written. You know what I mean? I stopped at the part of Kent. That was the last, when I first met Kent, that was where I stopped at in writing the book. I started writing this book when I was 23. I picked it back up at 26, and I picked it back up like 2-3 years ago. And again, I picked it up when I thought Me Red was going to help me with it, because she done wrote a book and told me she had a publishing company, which she did actually write a book, so I was subject to believe her. So then I sent my copy of what I had over to her. Like, now I can't trust a bitch, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to write this motherfucker because there's a lot to be told. It really is. But anyway, I love y'all from a genuine place. I'm gonna go in here and tinkle and warm up my food. And I guess I'll talk to y'all later. I love y'all. I love you, love you. Love you a lot. I appreciate y'all for fucking with me and just listening to the shit that I done went through in my life. It would be crazy. And I'm crazy. I was crazy. I ain't crazy no more. If you want to be in a relationship with me, I ain't crazy no more. For real. I ain't. For real. I'll talk to you tomorrow.